love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't be scared. Just give me up. Don't be scared. Crack. And if you get in my way, you gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math. When I hate, I attack. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just give me up. Don't be scared. Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just give me up. Don't be scared. crack. And if you get in my way, you gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math.
Let's go, baby! those sandwiches.
When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.
Sandwiches for free. What are we doing here? Yo, what's up, grinders? How you doing? It's Monday night. The Gaming Grindhouse is open for business. Oh, yeah, coming off the heels of the hot show yesterday when we broke down and reacted to the Xbox Bethesda Starfield showcase. We're bringing it back. Grindhouse is opening here with some demo, and I gotta fix this. Oh my goodness, I messed up here. Hold the phone. I gotta fix something here. The grinds board made an error, etched in stone here. Holy crumbuns here. I messed this up. Reversed my numbers. There we go. Now fixed. There it is. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Coming on in. Let's do some shout outs here. We got Ryan, Sergeant Brian East. How you doing, Nick? Nostalgia. Hit that like button, everybody. Matty Beast, what's up? He saw me. I was playing that Final Fantasy demo. Yep, that's how I was doing. That's what I was doing. I wanted to get more time in it. I thought I downloaded it, but I didn't. Febreze, what's up? Jeff B. Gaming, how you doing? Twisted Sync, I did that already. Let's see. Cursed Kane, hit that like button. Share it out. Subscribe if you're new. Ron M, VIP Grinder, Dad of War. Matty Beast, VIP Grinder, Sergeant, Leech, Peter Parker, Spider-Man in the house, DBZ. The Grindhounds are wild tonight. They're wild tonight. No, we will not sign up for Game Pass. Give us some games. Let's go. Who else is in here? Sam C, what's up? Get it started. Yvonne, how you doing, Yvonne? What's up? Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. I'm seeing some new names in here. Subscribe to the Grindhouse if you're new. Scott Dove, how you doing? M. Gene, Boycott Activision. Oh, man. Man, we're going down. There's a whole bunch of people in here. Andy, how you doing, Andy? Richard Farmer, the VIPs, Andy and Richard Farmer, how you doing? What's up, everybody? True Virgil will be here soon. He shows up near the nuts. He'll be here. He'll be here soon. And I got Frogs. What's up, Frogs? How you doing?
Yo.
He's been playing Diablo.
Man.
I know that. We were talking earlier.
Lots of Diablo with the family. Since they finally got it working with the wife. And I'm enjoying what I'm playing so far. Beat the campaign. And we are on our way to...
Oh, damn, she's yelling at you. That's it, Frogs.
Yeah, she's my wife right now. We're going through her campaign, so she's really on it. She's like, let's get it. Let's go.
Get in there.
I'm in my new game. I'm in the end game. She's still we're just following her, and she doesn't want you to activate her story because the story is actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
The story is actually really good. But yeah, so Diablo, a little bit of Street Fighter, and mostly watching conferences.
Yeah.
And like Diablo and conferences. That's basically what I
Oh
what
man, I did some Street Fighter and then I did that Final Fantasy demo. I was just doing it right before the show. I didn't get to it. What's up, Kratos? How you doing? Panthelonian wants me to do the world premiere. Let's see if I do it. World premiere. I don't know if that's good enough. But yeah, world premiere. I don't have the exact voice. True Virgil, there he is. There he is. Entrance music. Where is he? We got him. He came in. Remember, you got to keep the you got to keep it protected, covered up. The tattoo that Phil gave you yesterday, just keep it protected. You don't want it to get infected.
Sign me, please. I will bend over.
Everybody who got their tattoos from Phil yesterday and Booty, you don't want them infected. Just make sure. What's up, Neil? How you doing? Virtual Dan, how you doing? But yeah, I played. Getting right into it. So we got some stuff, man. The aftermath of the showcase has been crazy, and it's pretty wild what's going on here. And we got Twisted Sink is reading my mind. He sees the 3 C's in chat, and yes, if you want to use those 3 C's like Twisted Sink's doing, hit the join button, be a VIP grinder. And speaking about the VIPs, man, we're gonna be having some clown music today, not for the VIPs, but for the rest of the folks. But we gotta check in on quality splits. Herman Holtz, there they are, the VIP grinders in the house. Oh yeah, there they are, partying with Herman Holtz. You want to be on the board with Herman splitting? Hit that join button. We got some 3 C's. We got the clown music coming your way. Oh, baby. But right now, we're partying with Herman Holtz. Get your drinks out. He's chilling. Splits. And, man, I've been playing some quality splits. I tell you, that Final Fantasy. All I got to say about that. Thank you, VIP Grinders. And thank you for all the support for the channel. Partying with the Herman. All right, Herman. All right. We need to get to the show, Herman. Calm down with the music, Herman. Oh, man. Herman. There they are. Virgil stays lit, man. He got gifted a sub last week. And you can gift memberships as well, VIP Grinders. True Virgil won last week. He's there for another month. They say he needs to smell the quality. So he has to stay there.
It's not even pink. This is raw.
Oh, Jesus.
Has delivered
And Coop.
cooked salmon.
But, man, we got some Final Fantasy demo very briefly. What's up, J Game? How you doing? Yeah, so very briefly. So, I only played a little bit. I thought I downloaded it, but it didn't download, and I walked away, and it wasn't downloading. So, I downloaded it, playing the demo. I'm not giving spoilers, but oh, baby. Music to my ears. I tell you, first of all, Final Fantasy demo. Final Fantasy 16 demo is out now. It carries over your progress to the game. And let me tell you something. This ain't your old Final Fantasy. I'll tell you that right now. This is box office smash hit movie. This game starts with a bang. And it does it, and I got through the combat stuff. The combat is smooth. And man, it is the scale from the start. They are starting with the scaling of you are going to be fighting and working with huge. It starts on 5 minutes. It doesn't start with like how you ease into the story and it starts. It goes right into it, man. I love it. I'm telling you, this is great. And the combat. They got it like a fine wine, man. That is so smooth how that combat working. And I encourage everybody to go definitely play it. It looks great. For what I played again, I only played about an hour or so into it. It was about 45 minutes, but my goodness. It's what's crazy is that we've seen a lot about it. Yo, what's up, Mooch? Mooch catching a Grindhouse live. Oh man. That's it, Mooch. Hey, what's up, man? Mooch coming in with the Grindhouse Live. He's getting ready. You get the alley coming. It's coming, baby. Get that. The ROG alley's coming. But, yeah, so I'm telling you, that is really I'm really enjoying it for the brief thing I played. But, man, it starts and the scale and the cinematics and the movement of the characters and what they're doing, man, it is not a slow start. I'll tell you that right now. And that is just going to ramp up. So I'm really excited for Final Fantasy. And what's crazy is that we've seen so much of it, but still playing it, man, it's insane. It's insane. Like playing that game and knowing that it's coming out in a few days, a few weeks.
Didn't you say there was a resolution and a frame rate mode?
Yes, there is welcome to this generation, Frog. There is a frame rate and resolution mode. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk that now, 3 years into a console cycle, we would have a performance and a graphic mode? So guess what? You, the gamer, could choose how you want to play. What's up, Supermod? Oh, baby. We got them. Thank you, Supermod, again, for all your hard work and doing the grindhouse work, man, putting those grind stamps together, man. Thank you again, Supermod. Yo, we know they're going to be on lit when Supermod's listening live. But yeah, Frog, you believe it? There's a performance mode in there. You could choose.
So you're saying you can probably mostly play at 60 or probably mostly play at 30, but they give you the option.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take that.
Yeah, right. Options, right? I remember somebody with a P in his name and ended in S. Talked about options.
Oh, somebody from the okay.
Yeah, somebody from executive.
Lords of the Right Door Stall. That's what we're talking about. Somebody in that.
The inventor of the Xbox rooftop party. Phil Ness said about options. It's all about options. Play where you want. Play how you want.
The inventor of the Xbox glory hole.
Oh yeah, there it is. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's incredible how the options are just being taken away left and right. I don't know. Play where you want, how you want, on what device you want. But wait, Todd Howard's going to tell you how to play. Oh man, we got it. Grinders. We know. We're getting to that topic fast because we're going to be going down this line here because we got the last trifecta is going to be this show because we got a lot of bull to talk about. And I'm not talking about no FTC and legal documents and the 2 Utes. I'm not talking about any of that stuff that's going on right now because. But I do have to do one thing. I'm not having it on here, but I do have to do something here, Frog, because there's something that really broke down in the legal cases in Grindhouse Law. So just a quick Grindhouse Law segment here. I have to hold on. Let me get here. The Grindhouse Law has to go. We need to find out. Where in the world is Florian Mueller? 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 And let's find out where he is. Where can he be? Is he in Europe? Is he in Brazil? Is he in China? Where can where can he be? Florian, where are you? Where are you, Florian? Here he is. Force Patents himself. Where in the world is Force Patents? He is outside the building of the CMA. He's outside the building. Oh my God. This dude, the guy that's all about this, between him and Post Up, I think they can form a legal firm. The clowns of Twitter. He's in front of the CMA building. He's at the CAT tribunal. He couldn't stand Twitter. He had to get there, and he's in front of the buildings. He was invited to speak at King's College, but he decided to swing by the CA tribunal. Why not? Nobody gives a shit about you, dude. Stay outside, bitch. Look out the windows. What are you doing? What are we doing here, these Twitter lawyers? What are we doing here? Standing outside. You see these clowns? The hell out of here. Greetings from London. I came here because I was invited to speak at the King's College conference tomorrow. But he's outside. He's in front of the building of the CA Tribunal. This is what we're talking about. Holy Jesus. But anyway, that's the latest in there. We got Twitter lawyers outside of the CMA of the tribunal because somebody gives a shit. These sick people. Sick people. Thank you. Dude, look this up. Look. Does this spell, look at these buildings here. Look at this. Look at these sick people. What are we, what? What? And that is your latest 3C clown of the day. We're not ending it here. He holding the line. He's waiting in line outside. He has the sign like John Cusack out front. Go, free, unblock ABK. He is outside like John Cusack. Get the hell out of these friggin' clowns. Well, that is the first clown of the evening. Where in the world is Force Patents? Let's get our first super chat of the evening. Patholonium says, Aaron G tweeted 60 frames per second is standing on Xbox. He lied. You think? My God. Aaron Greenberg needs to take his own advice and say, had he not said anything, because he needs to stop talking. Because all they do is get themselves in trouble.
I lied.
Thank you, Aaron. So anyway, Final Fantasy demo, go play it. No spoilers. Enjoy it. And let's get to just the quick, very quick, because there's not much to really talk about. But this was something from last week that came up with the, where is it? Where's our, what is this? First, there was the Matt Piscatella thing that came out about how games are selling. Believe it or not. And subscription services are slowing down. I believe I have another person with a P and an S at the end of his name talking about that. I believe it's when he was at the beach and talking to New York Times.
Let's talk about Game Pass a little bit more, since that's a big bet for Microsoft. How many subscribers do we have now? And it does seem like a really good deal for the consumer, but what about the Microsoft investor? How is this a moneymaker for Microsoft?
Our last public number was 25 million subscribers that we've talked about.
We get an update?
Not right here, but we did talk about growth on PC. So our Game Pass subscription, not expecting everybody's following the video game market, is available on gaming consoles and on personal computers. And you can subscribe in both places. We're seeing incredible growth on PC. I think Satya Nadella, in our earnings yesterday, the CEO of Microsoft talked about, I think, 130, 140% year-over-year growth on PC, which is really where we're focused. On console, I've seen growth slow down on Game Pass, mainly because at some point you've just reached everybody on console who wants to subscribe. And we don't see subscription, unlike some other forms of media that have really moved almost solely to a subscription business. Today, Game Pass as an overall part of our content and service revenue is probably 15%. I don't think it gets bigger than that. I think.
There he is. Yes. So, and speaking of that, here comes Matt Piscatella. The growth of video game subscription spending has stalled. According to Circania, which that's a horrible name for that thing, because you always think of the cicada. You want to kill those things. The Games Market Dynamics, April 23 sub-spending in the U.S. was only 2% higher than April 22nd. So, 2% year over year in growth of subscription services. Finding new subscribers beyond the console ownership base has proven very difficult thus far. Hell, Phil Spencer just said that they maxed out the console and now they're trying to go get the PC dudes. On the other hand, big new premium releases in 23 have done exceptionally well in good old-fashioned sales, particularly in digital, although the TOTK has sold heaps physically as well. Should be an interesting week ahead. So, yes, we're seeing this drop in subscriptions.
You're my number one customer.
Enrique Alvarez, super chat. He goes, "What's up? Starfield got destroyed by Star Wars Ubisoft." Yes, it did. You know, well, that's my next topic right there. We're gonna go right into the Ubisoft. We might be breaking a grindhouse rule in here of going full Ubisoft. I say never go full Ubisoft, but somebody might be doing it. I don't know. I liked what I saw there. But back to the subscription stuff. We're seeing this drop. Because subscription stuff, and we're seeing this. We're seeing the same shit in video as well. Disney Plus pulling content now away. Some Max now, HBO Max to Max pulling away. Everybody trying to get back into the theaters. The Max is like they're not. They bundled it with Discovery Channel, Showtime, Paramount Plus. Master Chief couldn't save it. Paramount Plus chief couldn't save it. Boom, they're doing Paramount Plus now, bundling with Showtime. And it's really, they're struggling, these subscription services, on how to keep people engaged and subscribed and sustained. And the thing is that that's why they're so desperate for this Activision stuff, because they know, with this subscription services, that's what they're going into. They're going to need a whole ton of content for their services, because they can't just pump out a big game, a couple of games here and there, and make it sell a boatload and call it a day and start developing another one. They don't have that kind of design right now. That worked for them, and then it stopped working, and now they went to this more for less. And it's not working out. They bet on, and it's funny because, the push for Starfield and Game Pass, remember, they're like Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass. They never really promoted a game individually. And they have been doing that recently. They've been really pushing for games individually and not just with like Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass. Because I remember when Gears 5 launched, it wasn't even about Gears 5. It was about Game Passes getting Gears 5. And they still want, and also special editions and all this other stuff. They're wanting and playing it early. That's another thing that's happening too. Is that now you could buy the special edition and play the game early before day one in Game Pass. And what they let you do is that you could this one, the Starfield, right? To play early. With your Game Pass subscription, you could buy the digital deluxe version for $33 to play it early and get the content. You don't own the base game, but you upgrade. Now, how's that? Now they want you to pay in addition to your subscription to play it before day one if you have Game Pass. How them apples? What are we doing here? This is what you're doing? You're paying for upgrades to games that you don't own. But they have to. They want to get that money because selling the game is the best way to make money. That's why they always ask him about this Game Pass stuff, and you're seeing it. What games did they show from third party? Did they get in Mortal Kombat going into Game Pass? Nope.
You're my number one customer.
Did they get one of those big October games coming to Game Pass? Nope. They got your Focus Entertainments and some indie passion projects going into Game Pass day one. They got Payday 3 that looked like Xbox 360 Payday. Did you see that Payday 3? My goodness. That's what
that looked like ass.
Dude, that looked like ass. That looked like ass on friggin' that just took a shit. That was
you just made the list.
A lot of the stuff they showed was we're gonna
we'll go
we
through it
fair.
Again, but Payday,
we're gonna be fair, right? Both conferences, both Sony's PlayStation and Microsoft, they showed a lot of multiplexers coming to each other's systems. As far as exclusives, if we just go by what is exclusively there, once again, Sony had the better exclusives. I mean, Starfield. We're going to talk about this stuff.
I got that as a topic. We're going to go through because I want to compare that. Kevin Logan with the 5, he goes, I pray to God the CMA and the FTC win and that Jez gets $50K. Hey, thank you very much.
Hey.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.
I want Microsoft to pull out of the UK. I want to see how that devastating that is to gaming. That will destroy gaming.
They're
something like that happen.
They're calling that.
Oh, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Look, ladies, we got True Virgil flexing his VIP membership, but before we read True Virgil super chat, he needs his intro music.
Sign me, please, I will bend over and touch. My knees tell me it's better when we all play the make exclusive games and like to my face, thank you.
And we're going to do a double feature for Oh, man, Frog just had that one. True Virgil goes, like I said before, the Xbox showcase was miles better than Sony's crap. SF SF being 30 frames. Oh, Starfield being 30 frames was the only bad thing, but regardless, you ponies take the L. Well, thank you, True Virgil. We're going to start with an intro, and we're going to end with an intro song for you. Here you go.
Uh-oh.
There we go. We got you.
Where's the lamb sauce?
But yeah, but at least, you know what, True Virgil? You know what? I think he's getting the whiff. I think he's getting the whiff, everybody. He is getting it. That's how Frog's getting. He's getting the whiff because look, True Virgil is actually saying Starfield being 30 was the bad thing. True Virgil, I knew putting you next to Herman Holtz's nuts would give you some sense. And I understand, and True Virgil's coming around. He's coming around. Thank you, True Virgil, for the super chat and being a member for 3 months. And tell Herman I said hi when you look it up at him. But anyway, let's get into the next topic here. Oh, my goodness, what's going on here? The hell are we doing here? I got this thing up here. Going full Ubisoft. Listen. Let me get to this Ubisoft thing. First off, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Ubisoft conference, Ubisoft came to play today with gameplay. Someone got the memo. My goodness, Ubisoft showed gameplay. You would think we don't do gameplay anymore. We just do movies and in-game engines and all these visual tricks. But Ubisoft Direct, man, Ubi came to play. Now, hold a little bit there. Frog, I don't think you saw the Ubisoft Forward here.
I stopped at what was it? They showed something. Oh, when they showed the Crew 2 and yep, I'm done. They're showing all their games are all based games with the exception of a couple of new ones. I mean, will I try X Defiant? If they can change some things, maybe I'll get more interested in it. But yeah, everything is service-based for them.
Did you see Avatar being first person?
No, I did not.
Phil Spencer's in the crowd, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. There he is. Is that his wife? Who's that? Anyway, Phil Spencer was in the crowd at Ubisoft. Man, give these people some nice
your name
chance.
is, get ready for the big surprise.
Yeah, they really packed him in over at Ubisoft. This looks like a church. They put him in church? Dude, give this guy a chair. Yo, this guy spread wide eagle in the front row. Dude, those chairs are small chairs. Do you see this guy in the front? Next to Eves? Look at Eves Guillemot. Eves Guillemot. Dude, this guy.
He's next to Yves Guillemot.
He's Yves Guillemot.
He's trying to get his cheeks clapped.
I don't know, man, but you imagine sitting next to this dude that spread wide eagle there, and you're in these small ass chairs like you're in church. Like, come on, yo, who is this? Wait, who's that? She looks familiar. This girl, the one on the right. But this dude, close your leg there. But man, Ubisoft packed them in here. They packed these, there's people packed in there. Where are they? Where the hell did they bring them?
Man, I tell you, let me tell you.
They packed them in, man.
There's some weird people out there. I can honestly say that
What's the game?
PlayStation's conference wasn't the best, but I can honestly say that
You're my number one.
Microsoft conference for a Microsoft conference, it was better.
Where's the game? Here it is. Here's Avatar. Well, yeah, we'll do the comparison, but yeah, so Avatar is first person. It is
we're just going at the Ubisoft conference.
Just doing Ubisoft because I want to talk about the thing.
Yeah, you can talk more about it because I just said ugh, and I just turned it off.
Avatar don't look too bad, but we'll see. This is coming later this year. It looks good.
Ugh.
If I don't like that, okay. Let's skip it to the Star Wars. Here we go. Listen, this is first off, we gotta be careful. We need to be cautious with Ubisoft because ever since the days of Watch Dogs, when they were trying to show us next gen of Xbox One, we gotta be Josh said, I'm pretty sure the guy Spread Eagle is the producer of Assassin's Creed. Oh, where's the bird sound? Oh. So anyway, this game, we gotta, like, it's gameplay, but we gotta be careful because there's the classic Ubisoft downgrade. That Ubisoft downgrade comes in. We gotta be careful. We gotta be real cautious with Ubisoft because they're the slicksters, man. They'll show you some good shows and all this other stuff, but then comes the Ubisoft downgrade, and we gotta be careful about that. So that's why what I saw, I like this. You could send your little guy out there to do little puzzles here. He moves the thing for her. But this is how you show a game. You let the gameplay do the talking. She gets the mission. She does combat. There's traversal. They show the scope of the game. There's the combat coming up here. Let's speed it up a little bit. She has the combat. Like, it looks really cool. And, like, she's shooting and stuff like that. So there's the combat. Now, this is coming out next year. And then watch this. Then she, like, jets out of this place. This is pretty cool. Wait, no, I want the fast forward here. Because watch, she goes from this inside this hangar here. And then you're like, okay, what's she going to do now? Look at the trees. Look at all the leaves on these trees. Now, again, we got to be careful. This is Ubisoft. And the rule of the grindhouse is never go full Ubisoft. Be cautious here. But, dude, you go right in. Like, look at the transition from going from a hangar now that you're out here. Just tell them gameplay. No cuts to devs sitting on couches. No cuts to people in the lunchroom. No pictures of a dude standing next to a bookshelf telling me why I should be wanting to play their game. Just show the game and watch. Yes, gameplay. Look at all the tree, the animation. Look at all the stuff that's going on. And then from here, she goes and gets a mission. And then, watch this. She goes in. You got a couple of dialogue scenes, a couple of cinematics in here. It's looking good, man. You're just a bounty hunter. And then watch. Now she's like, I'm out of here. And then now they go like this. Now they go, okay, we did the driving to explore. Now we did our hangar. We did our combat. And now, look at the environments. Look at this stuff. This looks damn good, dude. This is gameplay. Look at that. She has a wanted sign. Look at all the stuff that's going on in this town. Look at the trees. Those are not no Halo trees. Look at those trees. Disclaimer. There may be a Ubisoft downgrade coming next year. But for what I'm seeing here, this looks fire. This is open world. You get wanted from a bounty hunter. Look at this. She just boarded her plane, her ship. Let's see what happens. Oh, wait. Where's my... I don't want the music in the thing. Look at this. Look, whoa, what are we doing here? Cut to cutscene. Cut to the guy talking on the shelf. Where's Todd Howard? Is she really just leaving this planet? What? Where's the load screens? Where's the cutscene that Todd Howard said to explore 1,000 planets? Did she just get in a plane and just leave? What? We're in space. And look at this. Look at this space. Look at what? Look at all the fighting. Look at the broken ship. Well, this is how you do it. You saw what we saw with Starfield yesterday. Cutscenes, slices, this and that. All little breakdowns of systems, but nobody just did a straight up mission. We'll talk more about it later. But this game, I'm like, she just left the planet and now she's, look at this. She's here and then she goes into super space, super drive. And then she just went to another planet. Look at this. She just does, look at this. Boom. And now she's at another planet. And she's like, we go anywhere. Dude. It didn't cut to no cinematic transition that they're in space. It just went to space. Interesting. But sandwiches will hold them back. Starfield sandwiches. And that's like we go anywhere. Now watch these environments that they show here. Look at these. Look at these. Look at this. Look at these towns and stuff she's going to. Dude, this look great. This look freaking great, dude. Dude. Ubisoft got me with this one. So, Frog, definitely, I say check out that video. That looks really good. Coming. And it's made by Massive, the people that made The Division. Hit that like button, grind over 300 people in here. Hit the like. We're coming into the nitty-gritty. But exactly, man, like that's how you show a game. So even if it gets the Ubisoft downgrade, we will revisit this game to see whether if it lives up to this. And this is running on PC, whatever it's running in. I just like the way it was shown. So when you say like, hey, what were you looking for in these showcases? What were you looking for in the PlayStation showcase? What were you looking for? That. I had no interest in this game from yesterday's video. Yesterday's Xbox video where they just showed a CGI of it. I'm like, what is this? Okay, it's interesting. But now you show us that. Now I'm interested. I had no interest coming in. I never knew this game existed before these showcases. And now I have something to look forward to. Let's see how it comes out. Remember, it's Ubisoft. Never go full Ubisoft. But I might have to do it if that's what it's going to look like. But we know that they do. Yeah, I'm not pre-ordering. No. I don't pre-order. No. But we'll see how it comes out. But what they shown, you got my interest. And now I had no clue that this existed. I had no clue I wanted it. Now I'm like, yo, that looks awesome. And that's it. And yeah, I know, Dave Rock. That's what I'm saying. That Watch Dogs reveal, we got to be careful. We got to be careful. We need to see the game, and we need to see when it's coming out closer to launch. Who knows if we got delays? Who knows what we're doing? But you want something quality and incredible? Final Fantasy XVI demos right here, and you're going to play it. But when we're talking about these showcases, that's what I kind of want to see. Something I had no clue, and now you got me interested in it by showing gameplay. Not a cutscene, not a CGI, not an imagination, not what it would be like. Just imagine, open mind. Just show me the game and show me gameplay, and I can imagine, wow, that looks cool. I want to do that. And that's it. Is it that hard? Imagine. Imagine, Frog, imagine if they're trying to get you to watch a movie, and instead of showing you the trailer of the movie, they actually have the director just come out and tell you with a sign behind them.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
No, it wouldn't. Just imagine the guy's like, well, my movie is very entertaining. I got some action sequences in it. I really wanted to explore the darker side of combat, and it's like, roll the movie trailer.
I think if people put all that fanboy bullcrap aside, we can honestly say, outside of Jeff Keighley's show, nothing was purely amazing.
I know.
And I think Jeff Keighley had the best showing. And
I think that Final Fantasy.
I still think
you're right. Final Fantasy Rebirth, but that was Sony's thing,
right? But that was Sony's thing. And if Sony had a Spider-Man launch date at the conference and the Final Fantasy Rebirth, they would have had the best conference.
Yeah,
they hands down would have had the best conference.
They spread themselves out. You're right.
They spread themselves out. So I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
Because think about it. We were talking about this yesterday, going into. So yeah. Anyway, check out that Ubisoft thing, and and I think definitely, but we got to be careful because we never go full Ubisoft in the grindhouse. Liquid Data goes, Star Wars Outlaws looks fire, and I don't pre-order, either being that they don't run out of digital copies. Exactly, exactly. And you want to know what? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm always honest, but I'm gonna tell you, with pre-orders, I don't pre-order anything. The only time I'll pre-order it is the night before it launches. That's when I'll pre-order it. I'll pre-download it. But to give my money now for a game that's coming out next year, like for Starfield pre-ordering, unless you want to get a special edition or something along those lines, like the $300 edition or some that Spider-Man one, I will pre-order that Spider-Man, with the Venom and stuff like that. That I will pre-order because I want that statue. I want that set up there. So, which that was announced at Jeff Keighley's thing, which, incredible, that model, 19-inch model. We're talking about it on Saltiest podcast. But I don't like if it's just a straight up game. Like there's no reason for me to pre-order it like months ahead.
Let me ask you a question. So the Star Wars, the Star Wars, the Spider-Man with the statue, does that come with the digital code?
Yes, you don't get physical.
Okay, so that's the one I get. Okay, no, I don't care about
Just
the
like
physical as long as you
War.
get the game.
Yeah,
as long as you get the game.
Yeah,
yeah, I
just
don't
like
care.
God of War.
Everybody made it seem you're getting a statue and there's no game.
No,
and I think people are so stupid. Like, if you're gonna get the game with it, who cares if it's digital or physical? It doesn't matter. They're like, oh, you're getting a steelbook, but you're not getting the disc. Who cares?
Yeah,
you're getting the game. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
I don't get it.
You're getting a digital version, but you get the steel book.
Oh yeah, I could care less. I could
just
care
like
less.
God of
As
War.
long as I'm getting the game, I could care less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, so therefore, I wouldn't pre-order anything until like the night before to get the pre-order bonuses and all that other stuff, unless it is, unless basically. Oh, and that's another one. You're right. Bazooka Long. Oh man, we got a name here. But I'm gonna. This is gonna be because this guy has such an awesome name. We're gonna read this with the reverb. Ready? Bazooka!
You're my number one customer.
Wait, Bazooka Long Dong with the super chat. Maybe I should read all the super chats like that, like an entrance. He said, "I just pre-ordered Mirage. It looks amazing." Actually, that's a good point. I wanted to show that because the Assassin's Creed came out. Frog, you missed Assassin's Creed and Star Wars right after you turned off from that from that freaking that racing game. That's all. I'm gonna read the super chats like that. I'm gonna read people's names like that. That's all I'll do, like an entrance. But yo, Assassin's Creed Mirage, you're right, man. This looked friggin' good. Now it says here, work in progress, doesn't resent power, but then they went back to the roots of Assassin's Creed. It's straight up old school Assassin's Creed. I got like Assassin's Creed 1 vibes, Assassin's Creed 2. And, you know, they added some definitely new combat, combat things to it. But, man, no, that's Codename Jade. Where's the Mirage? Yeah, that'll come out. Here she is. There it is. But, man, look at this. It looks good. Yeah. No, that's the one. That's the mobile game. This is the one. Mirage, yeah. But, man, I love how he just assassinates this guy like in broad daylight. It's like, yep, and we're out of here. It's interesting. Ubisoft at least bring back Assassin's Creed, man, because they milked the hell out of this thing. But yeah, like it definitely looks good. So like I would say that's what I mean. Ubisoft is straight up gameplay, dude.
Did Assassin's Creed look good? I didn't watch it. Like I said, those conferences like the Capcom, the Ubisoft, I don't care about those guys. When they come out with a game I want, I just buy it. Yeah. Like, for all I know, Capcom could have said, hey, Dino Crisis is coming back and Resident Evil Code Veronica, and I wouldn't care until I found out they announced it, and that's when I'll get it. Like, I don't watch their conferences most of the time just because they're...
Oh, no,
it's
Ubisoft
like they
would have a horrible... Oh, yeah, Ubisoft has a horrible...
Their conferences are horrible.
They
have
like a bunch of Just Dance, like a bunch of a Pink Panda, Jansen and stuff.
They have a lot of stuff I don't care about. Lots of stuff I don't care about.
Yeah. No, this looked really good, and it took back to the assassinations and sneaking in. And actually, let me fast forward to this thing. But like, look, you get the mission. This is how you show games, though. Like, this is what they used to do, man. Show the gameplay of it. Yeah, sorry, Frog.
So let me ask you a question. So, this game seems like a smaller Assassin's Creed, like Assassin's Creed. But a smaller one.
Yeah, I don't know what it. I don't.
Because from what I heard, it's a full blown Assassin's Creed, but it's not. Don't expect it to be 40 to 100 hours. Like expect this game to be like a 20-hour game.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know like what they. I know they got a lot of different Assassin's Creeds, and they're trying to put them all in this world, like this. I don't know. They're doing some wacko stuff. But it looked good. It was interesting that he uses the eagle to kind of like he's not. They got that kind of RPG element that they were trying to do in the other ones out, and now it's just much more of It seems much.
So
more
this is more of the traditional.
Oh yeah, it looks like it. Too.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It definitely looks like it.
It's not even a $69 price tag, is it?
Oh,
from what I was seeing, it's like $49.
Is it?
I think so.
Is this guys? Who pre-ordered it? Bazooka. Bazooka,
Yeah,
you said
tell
you
me, 'cause
pre-ordered.
I-
How much was it?
I don't think it was 59.
I think it's only digital too. I think, right?
It's only digital, and I don't think it's full price, like $69 or 50. I think it's a $49. It's either 49 or 59. I don't think this is like the crazy prices we've been seeing. It's a smaller game.
All right. Well, we'll see. It started as DLC, and they said it's smaller. That's what Josh said.
See, yeah, that's why I think it's 49. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. But I'm more excited about the Star Wars one. Assassin's Creed's like we've been.
I gotta
doing
check that Star Wars one out.
Check Star Wars out. Oh, it says 49.
Yeah,
Waverly says
that
49.
Yeah, so it's not a full game.
Yeah. All right.
It's basically like kind of like something. It was like, oh, we had this, but
It's
maybe
60
we
for the
can
dogs.
just. Okay, I'm not mad at that.
Hey,
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. Hey. That's not bad. Not bad. Never go full Ubisoft. Even they agree. Even Ubisoft says don't go full Ubisoft. They're like, yeah, it's $50. So let's go now to the that Xbox Starfield thing. The Xbox showcase again. Let's just do a quick recap of like the day after yesterday of this showcase here, of the Xbox showcase here. So it's been so first what I like to do before I do the showcase is we're gonna start with the C's, grinders. We're gonna start with the 3 C's. Over 300 people in here. We're gonna do the C's, right? We're gonna do the clowns. Let's go see what the expectations were for the Xbox show. Now that we know what we saw, let's go back and let's look at our good friends over.
It's a major one
on the Xcast. Let's hear what they had to say with the this was when just a month ago. Let's hear, because I hear a lot of that. Xbox is back. Xbox won everybody back. This is exactly what they needed. This is what we've been seeing the day after. This is what they needed. They did everything they needed to do. This is it. Let's hear what they were saying about a month ago with some of this Xbox show. Let's hear what he had to say.
More complicated now, but
not
still,
Paris, the dude in the red.
longer. And I think Xbox over these past
let's hear it
plus years have now really listened to the community and
had to be good and ready to go.
Let's go right
so
to it.
why are we doing that now? And I
Let's
understand
hear.
it's more complicated now.
Knowing
but
what we saw yesterday, let's
delay
hear
it if you have to. But these games cannot continue to ship this way. It's unacceptable. Excuse me, it's unacceptable, especially the amount of money that we're spending.
Yeah,
You're the guy in the red.
We've talked
Let's
about
hear.
the showcase. This is another major one, and it's wild. Every year we come to this saying, this is the one. This is a major one that can't make us wait any longer. And I think Xbox over these past 4+ years have now really listened to the community and taken that, right? It was, hey, we're sick of you showing and not telling. Hey, we're sick of CGI trailers. And then they finally got to the point of, all right, hey, we're going to show you gameplay. We want to do this 12-month roadmap. It didn't work, right? And I go back to Phil of like, we can do this showcase. I can promise you the world. But until you get that controller in your hand, have we done our job yet, right? And I think still in June, we have another issue where I don't have a controller in my hand, right? Yeah. That's my problem here is we're going to see these games, and all I still know is Forza and, of course, Starfield at the end of the year. Is there something more to fill out this year? Is there something right now for Xbox gamers to get excited about? Because if not, it's going to be another one where it's, hey, here's Fable gameplay finally, but that's 2024, 2025. And I go, oh, I'm still left waiting. And I think that's going to be the biggest uphill battle that they have to do here in June. And I think it still won't be enough for the Xbox community, unfortunately.
You know what needs to happen?
Really? So Starfield and Forza wasn't enough. They needed something to fill out this year, and thinking Hellblade was going to be it. And seeing Fable gameplay and wait. So let me explain this. From Xbox's showcase yesterday, did they solve what you're going to play now? Did they solve that? Did they let you know controller in hand? If that's what they needed to do, did they do it? Because a lot of people on the internet said they did it. I think all they said was that they beat Sony. But did they really do what's best for Xbox? Did they? Because I didn't see it. Because I didn't think this show did anything for Microsoft. Because actually, it kind of still proves that there is a management problem. And what's crazy is that after this show, after it, we are now talking about yet another Xbox game, exclusive game, that they were touting exclusive from 2019 since they bought Bethesda. Starfield exclusive is going to be locked at 30 frames on the two Xbox consoles. So did this show do this?
You're my #1 customer.
No. This show gave you hopes and dreams. He said if we see Fable gameplay, it's still not enough. We didn't see Fable gameplay.
You're my #1 customer.
And the clowns that think that this is Fable gameplay, stay in the circus. Let me get these super chats and show you why this is not gameplay. The Game Night 123 with the 10, he goes, don't forget you got people, cough, Ryan McCaffrey, out here saying things like they showed Fable gameplay. These people don't even know what gameplay is anymore. The Claymores with the 6, thank you. He goes, I had a controller in my hand playing the Fire Final Fantasy XVI demo. You're damn right, Claymores. Actually, Sony was the one who gave us something to get excited for right now. Sony signing an exclusive deal made you play something in your hand. Just a few days later, they announced the Final Fantasy demo. Think about it. If Sony in their showcase said, hey, we're starting with Final Fantasy VII Reborn gameplay, we're starting with that, they end with the Spider-Man gameplay, and they say Final Fantasy XVI demo, play it today. Dude, that showcase now has a whole different color to it. But if you think about it, Sony was present throughout the whole entire week. From the showcase, from when they showed it a few weeks ago till now, they saved their stuff for this time period. They didn't use it back then in May. I don't know why. I don't know why they refused to be part of this games, like when everybody's showing their stuff. I don't know why Sony chose to do their showcase so early if they were going to do some news now.
Because they probably have another showcase. I honestly think there's another showcase. I think there's one in September. I think the Spider-Man is gonna come. Spider-Man is gonna come out, and we're gonna be happy. But right before Spider-Man comes out, another showcase.
Frog's there. Yo, family's in the house. It's all about family. Look who it is, everybody. It's Cousin. What's up, Bob Jabroni? It's the Grindhouse Cousin. There you go. He was on the show. He came on here and talked about Halo. He was pissed off about Halo. Shout out to the Cousin. What's up, man? He goes, both events were completely mid at best. Xbox had no staple IPs like 343's
Agree.
Yeah, like IPs like 343's Bargain Bin Halo or Gears. Sony, no Bloodborne PC port, which was my letdown. I agree with you, Cousin. I agree with you, man. Definitely. The staple IPs, like, yeah, you're right. There was no... In the Xbox show, there was no Gears remastered. There was no Banjo-Kazooie. There was nothing to bring back anything at all. Nothing. There was nothing there. And Fable, listen. So let's just talk about this Fable thing, like the Game Night said right here. Thank you again for the super chats, everybody. Listen. Oh, and I forgot to read the Game Night. Well, I'll read it anyway. So like. Listen to this. Okay, right? Let's see. Okay. So they're saying this is gameplay. They showed gameplay, right? Let's see. I think they're referring to this part right here, where she's in the woods here, or in the woods. Let's see. I don't know what's going on. It's freezing. Like here, she kicks the chicken. Like here's gameplay. Or when she fights somebody in the woods, right? Okay, I got something for you. So, to those that say this is gameplay, I got some news for you, and this is a breaking from the Grindhouse, everybody. That's why you got to hit the like button, because this is the kind of stuff that you don't get anywhere else. If I could find it, oh man, now that will be good. I'll be bad if I do that. But here we go, Grinders. Hit that like button. Here we go. Let's see. Is this gameplay? It's not. Look what I got over here. If I can find it. Over here. Here we go. Grind, can you see this? Here it is. Look. Luan Vittoretti. Vittoretti. Hey, Italiano. Who is he? Hit that goddamn like button, Grinders. Hit it, because you're going to love this. Nobody finding this out. He is the senior environmental artist at We Are Playground on Fable. And his website is artstation.com. Now,
You're my #1 customer.
he's followed by all of them. Hip Hop Gamer, the guy was hugging everybody. He was a hype. Look, he's the senior environmental artist. What does he call? Let's see what he puts on artstation.com. Where is it? Here it is. Fable. Xbox Showcase. Fable, the Xbox Showcase 2023 provided us with a perfect opportunity to finally show off the Fable world. Quote, this cinematic trailer was a huge effort by the team, and I could not be prouder of it. This cinematic trailer was a huge effort by the team, and I could not be prouder of it. He didn't say gameplay, he said cinematic trailer. Grinders, we need to go now. We need to go to define what is a cinematic trailer. He says it right here. He says it right in this tweet. Let's like it. The Xbox Showcase provided per opportunity to provide this cinematic trailer. This is the developer telling you the cinematic trailer. He's calling it a cinematic trailer.
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh, no.
Holy Spirit,
no. Oh, no.
activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate. Activate.
There you go. The developer themselves are calling this a cinematic trailer. I can't believe we finally get to show the world. This cinematic trailer was a huge effort. So for all those calling this gameplay, he says it right here. Cinematic trailer. Let me get it again. Let's redo this from his website. Hold on. There's his website here. The website's whack. From his website, this cinematic trailer was a huge effort by the team and could not be prouder of it. This trailer, I was responsible for the chicken shots and the prop dressing, foliage painting, and vista assets of the castle in the background. As always, none of this would be possible without everyone in there at Playground. There you go. It's a cinematic trailer from the artwork. There you go. And what is a cinematic trailer for a game? Let's see. Let's look that up. So them calling that gameplay. Let's get back to it. Where is it? It's a cinematic trailer with game assets that they probably did, but it's not gameplay. And we've seen downgrades before. We've seen Hellblade just get downgraded. We've seen these games get downgraded. This is a cinematic trailer.
They're full of crap. when they do this, and I think that who was it, Aaron Greenberg, whoever came out and said we're not showing CG, everything will be in game, they should have shut their mouth. They should have shut their 3C's mouth. One of the C's, you know which one it is. Their 3C sucking mouth. They should have shut it because we got a lot of CGs, and that's not a bad thing. But if you hadn't said anything, I don't think I would have been thinking about anything.
He said it.
You should have shut your mouth. You should have shut your 3C sucking mouth.
Ooh.
And just let the show be what it was gonna be. I think I would have been happier. Yeah, you showed some games, but let's be real. Every single, for the most part, with the exception of 2 games, Forza and Starfield are coming out next year. So let's be honest with ourselves. 4 years into the Xbox generation, the 4th year will be the Xbox's year for gaming. Next year, there's no excuses for anything
Never been excused.
on Xbox going forward. There's no excuse. So Microsoft, you got to show us next year. You really, because we got Starfield and Forza coming this year. We know kind of what they are. Hey, 2024 is the year of Xbox. It better be.
Hey.
Yo, what's up, J Dub? How you doing, man? It's been some time.
What's up, J Dab? What's up, Jay?
What's good? I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, not much, man.
We have been for the last 10 years kicking the can down the road, telling them, "Well, next year you got to show me this, and next year you."
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I said, in last year after they didn't release not one single first-party IP, the can was kicked down the road to this year, and this year. What happened to the whole 12 months? Well, these are the games we're going to show you in the next 12 months. That went out the window. So here we are again talking about 2024, which is the next year, and what they're going to show you how to do.
Yeah, we go again.
Number one customer.
Yep.
I've given up already. And I've given up. I think the bigger thing, right? The bigger part was those guys. I mean, all of their next gen first party games, every single
You're my number one customer.
Are 30 frames a second, and I think that's very telling. I'm gonna be honest. They lied to us. They told us Xbox was the world's most powerful console, and it wasn't. Mm-hmm. It's probably not 12 T-flops. It's probably not. They just lied. No one verified. No one. Everyone took them at their word for it because there was no way in hell that all of your next gen games that's running DX12 and all the tools and everything is supposed to be enabled. You got your SSD, your Velocity engine, Rapid Pack Math, all of that stuff, and not a single game, next gen game you got is 60 frame, not even have just a 60 frame option. And these guys talked about VRR as the next gen, full RDNA2.
Savior. I can't turn you up anymore, JW. You gotta turn yourself up a little bit. I don't know if you can.
All right, yeah. Okay. What about now, guys? Can you hear me now?
I hear you now, but you're a little low. I turned you up as max as I could.
Okay, what about now?
That sounds better.
I can still. Okay, hold on. I just want to make sure you guys hear me loud. Is that better?
Yeah. Sounds better to me.
Testing in the chat. Okay. Yeah. So I just don't understand. These guys went out there hyping up the world's most powerful console. All of these technical jargon. And guess what? It wasn't just Phil and Aaron. It was all of these journalists. It was Digital Foundry.
Yes.
It was we can just keep going. We can name all of these people that sold us on this Xbox Series X. It's been the world's most powerful console, and yet it struggled on the multiplats. It continues to struggle on the multiplats. It's the worst running multiplat player, and I mean, in the fact that they're not even going to try to get you to buy an Xbox Series X, they're giving you a new Xbox Series S. It tells you where they want you to go. They don't want you to go to the X. They want you to go to the console where most people are. I mean, 80% of the Xbox install base is the Series S, not the X. And I think we need to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
I think
they doubled down on it, dude. Nobody talking about that 350. Dude, they didn't price it down. They priced it up.
Dude, they basically jacked the price up $100 because any day of the week you can go get a Series
Dude, do it for
S for
$200.
$199. Yeah, for $199, $249.
Free with Verizon.
You know, exactly. So they jacked up the price. They raised the games to $70, and then instantly all of their games started being freaking 30 frames a second. And guys are okay with that. Guys are right. Now imagine if Sony had one single first-party game that was 30 frames. These guys would go through the roof.
J-Dub, they made fun that Sony was streaming their conference at
trailer,
4K 30. Man,
Exactly.
you want to see something? A year ago, when Sony showed Horizon Forbidden West and showed it at the State of Play and it was 4K 30, they were like, there's no 30 frames for Horizon. Oh, $70 games, no 30. And meanwhile, that's what I said. In the search for W's, all they get are L's because they bucking up the wrong tree. Shirts in the grind shop, everybody, if you want one. But it's all that's what they do. They were talking about Horizon, but you want to know, J-Dub, they were doing it right before this show. Sony's showcase, that summer showcase, was 4K 30, and they made a big deal that this show was 4K 60, and they're showing 30 frames per second games.
Exactly.
And here's Avowed. Like, nobody, and Avowed, you want to talk about, we're on this thing of, like, gameplay and trailers. Dude, this is the gameplay for trash-ass Avowed. Let's go see what the cinematic trailer was of what Avowed should be. I was just rolling that whole thing, and then this is what they showed you with Avowed 3 years ago. Here was Avowed. That was gameplay that they showed at the showcase yesterday. This is how Avowed was shown with the cinematic trailer. So tell me that Fable, the artist, said that it's a cinematic trailer in his tweet, JW. You see that? The guy called it a cinematic trailer. Now, this is what Avowed looked like in 2020 when they showed it in their cinematic trailer. And you just saw the gameplay there.
Yep.
Look at this thing.
That shit makes
Dude, they're lying out their ass. Look at Halo. Remember Halo with the slip space in-engine demo? With all the animals and all this other stuff? We got a hairless Halo rat. Look at this. This is what Avowed was shown, dude. Look at Avowed.
Yep.
Oh, this is gameplay of Avowed? Just like Fable was gameplay? Dude, this is not... Look at this. Look at the lighting. Look at all this stuff. I did the Hellblade one. Where the guy, Digital Foundry, said it was smoke and mirrors. There's Avowed, and then this is what you got. Look at this. You got a bear with fungus on it. Look at it. Look at this game. This is the real gameplay. You tell me that trailer is this. Look at this. Look at all those horrible... Look at that ground pound. Dude, did you see that weak-ass ground pound? This is... Look at this. That's what the game looks like. So tell me that Fable was real gameplay, clowns. Come on.
Sea of Thieves. I mean, it's all. But do you notice they only make cartoony type games? Or
Frog was saying that yesterday. Frog was saying he's like, when you know, like every one of their games has this cartoony kind of look to it. You're right.
Hey, why is it this? Why is it when Sony show their games, right? No one ever questioned whether it's gameplay or not. Everyone already know that the shit is going to come out. But with Xbox, even when the developers say, "Oh yeah, it was gameplay," everybody looks at them with the side eye like, "Come on, man, what are we doing here?" And it's crazy because it's worse than the PC. You ever see like the PC games and the shows and shit? They show you these spectacular
Age of Empires.
trailers. Then you look at it, and then when
League of
it's time to
Legends.
game, when you finally see gameplay, it's like fucking League of Legends or it's like Dota, right? You know what I'm saying? Or World of Warcraft.
Oh my
It's
god,
like,
that drives
why
me
do you do
crazy,
that?
dude. They showed us incredible CGI. You're like, what is this? What is this? And then meanwhile, it's like top down. The guys look like a quarter ant. They look like ants. You're like, what the hell? Why would you show me the cinematic?
Jez, listen. There's this tweet right now. If you see it, you're gonna rip a blood vessel.
I'm going on Twitter right now. Where is it?
I'm no matter of fact. I'm gonna post it here, and I'm gonna post it here. Just
all right.
You just got to see.
Want me to go? You want me to grind rant live here?
I want you to look at it right now. You can post it up on the screen. I just
don't tell me it's from Mr. Cookie Monster himself.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
You know what? Okay.
I had Small Wonder. Alice.
God damn, he should stay to be making cookies. Look at that. And you know what? We're gonna, since we got JW, we got Sick here. Yo, what's up, Sick? How you doing, man?
Sick, my brother.
Listen, we got this.
What's good?
Dude, I heard you going off this morning, man. Look at this. This is the.
You ain't even
you know
seen
what?
this
I had this friggin' thing. Wait, I'm gonna expose this because I got here. I'm gonna give a little sound clip for him. This guy, watch. Here he goes. 60 frames per second. This is what Jay does. Is a buzzword that people love to tout as a victory for their console games. And for
Who the
some
hell
games,
said that?
Mr. Dustin Laguerre, man.
Laguerre.
Oh my god.
He said
cut
60,
it out.
Wait, he's not done yet.
frames a second is a buzzword.
A buzzword.
Wait. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Mr. Play on PC said that?
Yeah.
That's exactly. Yo, sick. He doesn't even give a shit about the console. He says he's playing it on PC.
No. And he say buzzword for the console. Are you fucking kidding me? Aaron Greenberg started this generation out saying everything. The 60 was the standard.
Yep. Well,
Up to 120
Up to 120.
FPS. So hold on. Why wasn't he saying that then? Why wasn't he calling it a buzzword then?
He wasn't being a journalist then.
Yeah, no.
Yo, that's bullshit. No, that's bullshit, bro.
I told you, bro. You
he's
can't
not
make
even
this shit
playing the game on PC on console. He says he's playing it on PC. So he's like, I'm fine with it on console at 30. You're not even playing on console, you fucking idiot. Like, you're not even playing over there. He's like, I'm playing on PC. I'm like, what do you care then about a console if you're gonna play it on PC? And what do you mean a buzzword? Phil Spencer.
Yo, that's bullshit, bro.
Yo, what was Sixth thing about Phil Spencer saying next generation is going to be how you feel about games? That was the distinct difference between last gen and this gen, was the frame rate, how you going to feel the games, because they've hit fidelity. Now it's about the frame rates. This was a marketing beat for why next gen, and now it's a buzzword, dude.
Let me ask you something. If this was a creative choice, not forced, but a creative choice, then why didn't they creatively choose to have two separate modes?
Exactly. Or lock it on PC. If that's the vision you want, then lock it 30 frames on PC.
No. Well, no, because that's bullshit.
That's
can't.
Absolute
They won't. Nonsense.
Yeah, they won't be able to do that. That's the problem. It's again,
they will never be able to do that.
It's that whole Xbox is PC, PC is Xbox bullshit that people done fed into realizing. They lied about the specs. The specs of the Xbox is not what they proclaimed it to be clearly. Even if their own first party, right? And it's not like Microsoft has these fucking killer next generation first party games that just shows off the power and all of this shit, right? Clearly PlayStation has the better looking games, whether it's next gen or even cross gen.
Yeah.
Xbox don't even have games that look better than fucking PS4 games.
Exactly.
That's the problem, right? And for them to come out now in the media and all these other personalities and goofies, and they defend that shit, is sickening, man.
But you know what's funny? You know what I find is pretty crazy? And you know, about Redfall. Why was Redfall, like, it got destroyed because they didn't have a 60 frames per second mode at the launch? Starfield, they didn't even talk about a 60 frames per second mode on console. Yeah. They're just like, dude, it's locked at 30. Like, they were destroying Redfall because of it not having it at launch. It will come later, and people will like, this is unacceptable. How can you do this on a console? We feel like second-class citizens. What happened to all that just a month ago when now Starfield is doing the same thing? What happened to the second-class citizen on console that it's locked? He didn't even tell you there's a patch coming for 60 frames. And you're just like, know why? I'm going to answer my own goddamn question. Because they set the expectations again, lowered expectations. They came, Redfall was that's why I think Phil Spencer shipped that shit out the way it was, because he's like, you know what? Let's break the ice with Redfall getting a 30 frames on the consoles. Let's get the heat then. I'm going to go on there and cry and shit and feel, woe is me. We're never going to win. We suck. And then I'll have Todd Howard tell us that Starfield will be 30. And therefore, we already missed the wave of hate. Now they'll accept it because we lowered the expectations of the consoles. That's exactly what they did. That's why they shut fucking Redfall out the way they did it, because they wanted to get that game get the shit and not Starfield get the shit. And now they played the media like a goddamn fiddle. That's exactly what they did. Because it's the same problem. How is it not the same problem that they're dropping the same goddamn excuse? It's 30 frames on both the consoles and it's locked.
Let me ask you another question, Jez. Let me ask you a question. They say it's because the game is big, right? The game is big and empty, dog. Let's just keep it a buck. You barely saw life anywhere in that motherfucker, right?
Exactly.
But hold on. The benchmark for this goddamn generation Horizon motherfucking Burning Shores got a huge fucking open world. You can fucking fly. You can do all
Anywhere.
this shit, and
Yep.
there's a lot of stuff going on simultaneously in the fucking world. No goddamn excuses, bro.
Yep.
None.
And the fight at the end, dude. And that fight all in 60 frames. You gotta be kidding me for telling me all the stuff. And anyway, I don't know if it was your tweet or somebody's tweet when it's like we're talking about it's doing so much. Dude, when he's in there shooting space pirates, is it rendering 1,000 planets, dude? You're talking about the Todd Howard bullshit scope of like, it's doing all this stuff. You know how Todd Howard oversells his stuff, but it's not doing it technically on the screen at the same time. Those idiots like John Linneman, I can't believe John Linneman was coming out making excuses. Friggin' like all these Gene Park, like these dopes. I'm like, what are you talking about? Technically on the screen, the guy is shooting people in a corridor. What are you talking about? Sandwiches on a ship in space and physics? Are you drunk? What are you talking about? Why is sandwiches in space and 1,000 planets have anything to do with a dude in a corridor shooting the same ass space pirates as a shooter? And that's the other thing. Starfield is primarily a shooter. It is not a melee game. It is not a magic game. It is a shooter. They showed all the guns. It's a shooter. There's no VAT system to slow it down because it's strategic shooting and a roll of the dice type shooting like an RPG. Dude, this is a full-blown shooter with jetpacks and explosives and jumping all over the place. This should be in 60 frames.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm going to be honest, right? The game doesn't look fucking anything like Horizon Burning Shores.
Showing the
It
guy's
doesn't
beard
look
right
anything like fucking Spider-Man. It doesn't look anything like God of War. It doesn't look anything just says, oh my God, this shit just fucking, graphically, the horsepower, it's just not. Right? It just doesn't. It looks like fucking a shiny Fallout 4. That's just literally what it is, right? Fallout in space. And dudes, I mean, they are willing to give Xbox the benefit of the doubt under any circumstances. And I don't understand that shit because I thought that they were supposed to prove themselves. They had the world's most powerful console. Mark Cerny,
whatever your name is,
Jim Ryan, Herman Host, none of them
surprise.
ever touted the fucking power of the PS5. They came out and just said the techniques that they were going to use to try to give you a great experience. Mark Cerny went into the SSD and the architecture and how all the components work together. They laughed at him. They pointed finger. They and shit like that. They said it couldn't do. You had to change CPU use the smart shift. They made fun of that. I mean, all the kind of goofy shit. And then that motherfucker came out smoking the fuck out of the Xbox Series X. That's why I said these dudes are lying about how powerful that system is. It is not that powerful.
Sure.
It is less. It's less because think about it. The multiplats even run better on fucking
Exactly. There's something up. And look at this is the thing. I know you guys can't see it live here, but I'm showing the game and I'm showing that part where the guy's sitting at the table. Horrible. Like, I'm gonna just play the audio. But look at the NPCs in the room. They are not even doing anything.
Up here.
Watch this
What's
guy.
great about backgrounds is you never know when yours is going to come in
Welcome, Kevin
handy.
Green. Look at this guy. This guy here just walks up to the chair and just stands there.
You
Look.
could be in the middle of a fancy restaurant talking to some guy, and suddenly you
look at
learn
this guy.
that he's a beast hunter to help track down a monster.
Fine. I probably should stick to professionals anyway.
Than this. This is
like this is not even a Horizon. Look at this stuff. Like, and this is the same problem that. It's the same problem that Redfall was. Like, it was not a looker. It wasn't like a Horizon-looking game where you're like, oh, okay, I could see this so much. Like, maybe it was a design choice to make it 30. Dude, they made that game 60, and like I said before, it's so underappreciated for the technical prowess of that game, and people just want to, like, forget it because it didn't win any awards. But, like, that game should be a model for, like, everybody should be referencing that game, and they just want to try to make it go away. And it's not going to go away because it's a reference statement for this generation, especially the DLC to Horizon. And this stuff, there's no excuse why this is 30 frames a second locked on console. What happened to, look at this guy. This guy, like, look at these people. This guy's just standing in a room waiting for you to talk to him. He's not doing a routine. Where's his AI? He's standing in the room waiting for you to open the door so he could give you a mission. And again, just like Redfall, guys, they did in that whole ass hour and a half showcase, didn't just show straight up gameplay of a guy getting a mission on a planet or in a town, getting to his plane, going into space, flying around, maybe fighting, landing on another planet, doing the mission, the emergent combat, none of it was shown. It was all cuts and swipes and people sitting at the office chairs and grabbing ass on couches. That was all that stuff. Look at the guy standing there waiting for you to talk. This is now. They didn't show the game. They didn't show the straight gameplay. Same thing with Redfall.
Imagine telling a PC gamer that 60 frames is basically overrated.
I can't believe it. I can't believe that some of these PC dudes are supporting this stuff. I think they're liking it because it justifies the PC. Shows like console is a petty console because this is exactly proof of why they're PC gamers. So that's why I think a lot of PC dudes are jumping on this like, haha, yeah, I'm fine with 30 frames on console because that's the petty person's console. They don't like when something looks better than their huge ass rig. But when something is justified, that's probably why a lot of these PC guys are okay with all these. Because I can't believe some of PC guys defending 60 frames and saying like 30 frames is okay. And I guess it's because they just say, oh, that justifies my 4090. You know, consoles, they don't like a game like a Horizon because that kind of makes their going, oh, dude, like, you know, survival, vampire survival ain't it right now. That looks incredible.
What happened to the ray tracing? They touted that it had 25 flops of ray tracing cores, and they don't have one single game yet, right? That has fucking ray tracing in it. That's
no ray tracing. They got Halo Shadows.
You know, where's all the stuff? Why can Starfield have that? They touted the VRR, right? They were the first console to have VRR, but like, what's going on with that?
That was a crutch because of the bad frame rates. Let me get to these super chats here. Let's see. Tweaking for days, he says. Do you notice how that Starfield protagonists don't talk in the game? Yeah.
You're my number one
He's
customer.
not supposed to. That's a feature that they said. They took it out of Fallout 4. Now he don't talk anymore. That was a feature that he said they listened to the fans. Twisted Sync, he goes, what did Spider-Man 2 show? Oh, yeah, a HUD. No HUD here. Mm-hmm. Well, no, there's some HUD here and some of this combat here. Like, I don't understand. This is what I don't understand here. This punches, these Superman punches that your guy has. Like, if it's 0G, I understand why the guy goes flying. But why would a punch make the guy go slow motion flying in the air? It makes no sense unless there's 0G or something like that. And, the frame rate just dropped there on that crazy stuff. And then cousin over here, he goes, anytime you see some C-list star like this comedian in Fable, it's bad news. Almost as bad as Vin Diesel in Arc 2. He don't play that game. Prepare for disappointment for Xbox. Then Kevin Green, VIP Grinder. He says it's a next-gen Mass Effect knockoff. Bootleg Mass Effect, he said. And then Bob Jabroni comes back. Cousin, he goes, reskin Fallout 3. People are going to act like this is revolutionary. Guaranteed it's going to launch broken in Bethesda fashion where mods fix it. Truth from the family. It's all about family. That's right, baby. Family is the truth. The mods will fix this. That's why they're focused on the PC of this thing, because the mods will add higher frame. They'll add higher textures and all that shit to it. But look at this combat. Like, this is what I mean. This combat, he's flying in the air, shooting, jetpacks, explosions. Like, there's no, like, this is a shooter, a space shooter, right?
Yeah. It's Fallout in space.
It's Fallout, but Fallout even had like roll of the die, like they had the VAT system where it was a little more RPG-ish. This has not shown any systems like that. This is straight up going in, guns blazing, shooting. And I do think it's hilarious how they talked about you could play it stealthily, and there's no like stealth kill animations. It's like a jab in the guy's back and they fall. By the way, we're still waiting for assassinations in Halo, by the way. Anybody? Anyway. That was a promise that they were supposed to do 3 years ago.
You're my number one customer.
But anyway.
It's crazy that Destin, right? He's saying that he's going to play it on PC because he likes frames, but he's out here trying to fucking sell 30 frames a second to fucking Xbox gamers that was promised 120 at 4K. Like, I don't understand that, man.
I don't get, and it's so weird. Like these, and they talk about narratives and all this other stuff, and it's like, dude, you're not even playing it on console, but why are you okay with that? And you know what? And like I said before, I actually and you and I even saw a good friend Paris was for it as well. And what's incredible is that we have a whole statement from Paris Lilly here on the XCast podcast saying all this stuff. Now tell me how this argument, what he's saying here, for Redfall doesn't apply to Starfield. So why is this acceptable? So I'm just going to run it here, his video of this little play.
For a couple different reasons. You know, going hands-on with it during the preview, that got me like, yeah, I want to check the $70 next-gen only game.
Yeah, this is what he says about 30 frames per second.
The overall consensus, not only myself and just everyone that I've seen talking about this today, is it's disappointing because we're now in the next gen. This is no longer cross-gen stuff, anything like that. We're in the next generation of console gaming. And to tell me that the flagship console for Xbox, the Xbox Series X, because this is the first $70 next-gen only game coming from Xbox Game Studios, can only do 30 frames per second at launch is disappointing. Yes, you're going to patch this and it's going to get a 60 frames per second update, which is great, but why is it not at launch? I think, and I tweeted this earlier, my biggest thing about this is I get stuff happens in game development. I'm almost confident that they were aiming for 60 frames at launch. Clearly something has happened on the roadmap in the development cycle. They couldn't hit it. I get it. This happens. You don't want to delay it. Okay. I think you got to get out in front of this with a more detailed explanation as to why, so people understand, because we're at a point in 2023 where, and I know people were pulling up the tweet that Aaron Greenberg had in 2020, but we're at a point where 60 frames per second is pretty much considered a standard now on these next generation consoles, be it a performance mode, quality mode, whatever you want to call it. But it needs to be some tier where there's 60 frames per second. And they obviously were aiming for that. So the fact that you're not doing it, you got to explain to us why, be it in a detailed post on Bethesda or Xbox Wire. I don't know if you get Harvey from Arcane or someone else from the Redfall team to kind of dive into the weeds to explain why. Look, we ran into these issues. We need a little more time. You can expect that we are targeting July or whatever it would be, right? So people at least know. As that stands as just a tweet, I don't know when this patch is coming. Do I dive in day one and play it? Do I hold out and wait a couple months, or do I wait 6 months, a year? I don't know, because you're not giving me enough details. And I think you have to be self-aware enough to know that that tweet is going to create a firestorm, because that is what happened today. A firestorm of people with.
So how does that not apply to Starfield, where it's a $70 game, where 3 years into the next generation, you expect it? They were complaining and going crazy when they just said it wasn't available at launch. Todd Howard just said, hey, it was a Crave decision. We're locking it on Xbox. 4K 30, 1440p 30 on the S. We out. And that's acceptable, but them saying, hey, Redfall, we're not going to have it at launch. 60 frames will come later. People went bonkers. But now with Starfield just saying nothing about 60 frames, it's acceptable? I don't get it. Like how? Oh, JW just left. How does that apply? How does what he said not apply to what's currently going on this thing? Hello? Well, while they're thinking, I'll read these super chats here. It goes, Liquid Data goes, someone called Craig so he could tell us about the 52 CUs and ray tracing that's coming in the patch. Yeah, it's coming in the patch. It's all being patched. But I just don't understand how this stuff is acceptable now. Is it because they just don't want to give them more bad news? It's not acceptable. And it shouldn't be defended. And I'm looking all over on Twitter and stuff like that, and it's just like giving all excuses for why. Oh no, this is the Crave decision. Good job. Like, it is what it is. And how? It's because they just don't want Flight Simulator that way. Like they did Flight Simulator. Jesus, I was looking at Flight Simulator. They just don't want Yeah, and here it is, actually. This is the thing right here.
We do lock it at 30.
Yeah. They're talking about that tweet, right? That tweet about how that was enough. Listen, here's the explanation. Does this satisfy why?
It's 4K in the X. It's 1440 on the S. We do lock it at 30 because we want that fidelity. We want all that stuff. We don't want to sacrifice any of it. Fortunately, in this one, we've got it running great. It's often running way above that. Sometimes it's 60. But on the consoles, we do lock it because we prefer the consistency.
Yeah.
Right? You're not even thinking about it. And we don't ever want to sacrifice that experience that makes our games, really, really special. So, feels great. We're really happy with how it feels, even in the heat of battle. And we need that headroom because, in our games, really anything can happen. It's 4K in the X. It's 14.
What? What is he talking about? Fidelity? We want that fidelity? Is he talking about the facial hair of this gentleman? We need what will this look like in what will this look like in the goddamn in performance mode? Because this does look like performance mode. What are we doing here? The fidelity, my ass fidelity. What's this? This is what we're talking about. Excuses upon excuses. Let's see some more. I got some more. Yeah, you want to see fidelity. The fidelity that he's talking about. Let's talk about the downgrade. You want to talk about the downgrade? Whoa. We got it right here. Look at this. You want to see something last year and this year. Let's see this one. Here we go. Tell me what I saw. I saw the watch last year. His last year.
You're my #1 customer.
And now yesterday. Oh. This is last year?
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to
I like when games look terrible.
Sick. Do you see this? This downgrade. This? And now here's this year. What happened to her face?
Welcome to Constellation.
What happened?
To talk about.
I love it.
You
love
it.
It looks great. I love this for Xbox gamers. You guys deserve it all.
Dude, they're giving excuses for it, dude. They love it. They love eating shit.
No, well, they're going to agree with anything that Xbox does or say. We already know this. There's no question about that. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Hey, man.
This is what they get. They're going to not enjoy it the same way they're not enjoying Redfall. Go look at the player count. Go look at where it is on the top on the Xbox top most played games. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're going to cap for it for a few days and stop playing just like they do every other game.
Yeah, right. And this will sell on PC with the modders, and they love hearing that stuff where Todd's just like, hey, he already said it, not yesterday, but he said, like, you build the world. Like, you do what you want to do. They love that. It's a platform for them, for mods, for them to build worlds, and that's where it's going to go. Like, you buy it on Steam, not even on the Xbox PC. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to use that kind of, that hype from the PC dudes who are probably going to start marketing and selling the stuff to the console dudes, like in mods in that storefront. And this is exactly what they're going to do. And they love it. And Todd Howard knows that the PC, the community, is going to build his game. Why does he have to spend all this asset and stuff? Just build a skeleton of a game and let them make the rest of it. Thousands of planets. Guess what? You want to know what's on? There was a lot yesterday of just a dude standing around walking in empty worlds. Right? That's what I saw a lot of that. Just the guy just standing. And the vistas look pretty interesting. They look great. Some of the stuff looked good. But the interactions.
You're my #1 customer.
The towns, the NPCs, the people giving you missions. First off, let me ask you a question. And I don't know, Frogs are sick if you know the answer, because they spent an hour and a half or so talking about Starfield. What are the missions like?
They really didn't show that. That's the question I have. They really didn't show that. You really don't know, in a sense, what you're getting. They really didn't show the mission structure. And I just said, when I saw them creating character and the guy's beard was all wonky looking, I was like, yeah, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. It's more, and I'm not saying I don't like Fallout, but it's more Fallout 4 and the sci-fi element. It's like, I honestly think that Bethesda has a problem with their engine. I do. I think their engine is outdated. I think they need a new engine, and I don't really know if they're listening to their fan base. I think they think it's okay to
Whenever
have this
possible, I
really
like to
horrible
talk.
engine and not refine it. This engine has been very similar, and it's not really anything drastically different.
Yeah.
So
Like
I don't know the mission structure.
Like, yeah,
I'm interested in the game, but I don't know mission structure.
Yeah, like, is it go get like 4 coconuts on this planet and come back to me
Exactly.
and I'll give you XP?
Well, you do. I don't know if we picked up on this, and I said this before. They said, and when they were showing the game, there are a lot of planets that are barren. There is nothing on except for resources. So you're going to get a lot of planets that are empty. I don't know if people picked up on them saying that, but you're going to get that.
Yeah.
You know?
And can you?
And I'm just interested because I like sci-fi stuff. I like sci-fi stuff. That's why I'm interested. Outside of that, I don't really know what I'm going to be doing.
Anywhere on the planet?
I don't think so. I think there's like designated spots you can land. You know, and that's what it is. It's like a realistic, semi-realistic No Man's Sky in a sense. But I think No Man's Sky, since it's kind of pre-generated, randomly generated, I should say. You know, I don't know if this game, you know, they say, oh, you can land on the same planet as your friend, but it may be different stuff. But how different? Yeah, how different, you know?
This is the exact same thing as No Man's Sky.
No, but there's no online.
Okay.
Generated.
There's no online. Yeah, there's no online.
No, it's not. It's not, but everything is procedurally generated the same way.
So it's just random stuff when you land on a plane. But you can't just see like a mountain and just land on it like No Man's Sky. There's like, you scan the planet and there's spots that where you could land to mine stuff. Like you can't just land anywhere on the planet. Like in No Man's Sky, if you see the dark side of the planet, you could swing around and land on the dark side of the planet. It'll be nighttime there, and you could ride along and be on the sunset. Like
let me ask y'all a question. If this game was on PlayStation, let's say PlayStation and PC, right? No Xbox. Y'all think we would get the same damage control for it?
No goddamn.
No, people would shit on this game.
No way, dude. You know
people shit on this game.
It's the most subpar, mid-ass looking game that I've seen, and I don't know how long.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all see
the
battles? The shit.
Oh yes, and that's gonna and I told Jazz. That's going to be what is going to draw people in. This create your own game, kind of do what you want kind of model. This is going to be a streamer's paradise, just like that's why Sea of Thieves is there. I call it Sea of Thieves being there. This is a PC streamer's paradise where you're going to see people play this is PC, and they're going to say this game is doing so well. This many people played it, but what people aren't going to realize, the majority of people who mess with this game are on PC. That's where they're going to play it.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest.
The streamer, it's like this emergent, and again, like it's like, look what I built. Look at this stuff. Look at this base. Because again, they didn't even talk about I was talking about the mission stuff. Like, what is the mission? Like, is it a fetch quest? Like, and that's what I mean. Where we saw that in the Star Wars thing today. And again, it's Ubisoft, so take it with a grain of salt. But it looked awesome. I'm hyped for it now. But like, she got a mission. She went and did the mission and came. Like, they didn't do it with Redfall. Like, they did not show the gameplay loop, and they're not showing it here. They're doing a lot of slices, cuts, people talking, people at the guy standing by the window. Just show the guy getting a mission from the lady, going to his plane thing, show how he leaves, where he does in space, how he gets to a planet, land on the planet, collect your 5 coconuts, go back to the dude, hand it to him, and get XP. I don't know what the missions are. Are they dynamic missions? Are they like The Witcher? Are there going to be some real cool side quests? Is there going to be like, go get me like a bunch of iron from this planet. I really need it to build out my bookshelf. Okay, and you guys don't even talk. It's like, accept mission. Now you're on a mission to go to a planet to go get iron to bring to this guy. Like, is that the missions, or is there, or when you, and look who is fighting? Random pirate dudes. Like, just, all you're doing is shooting pirate guys, like just walking around space pirates, like in a hangar. Like, is that the only combat? Is there any kind of like mines? Can you go underground? Like, he just talks so much about what you can do, but they don't show any of it. They just show the same, like, and that's the Todd Howard thing. He's showing you mediocre game, like Sick was saying. He shows you mediocre stuff, but then he's talking about, and you might do this, and you might see a sunset, and you might see some animals in the distance. You might do this. We don't know. Stop talking about it. Show it happening. Show it. I don't need to see a dude standing in a goddamn hallway. I don't see this lady standing here telling me about a ship that she created that looked like Optimus Prime. Who cares? What does it matter? So you spend hours building a ship like Optimus Prime. You can't show it online. You can't cruise around with your friends. Who are you making it for? For you? You're showing the guy placing tables inside of a space station in a random planet. For who? Look at my, what, for Twitter? I don't know. You can't share your content. You can't invite people. Look at these face animations. These are the people that's giving you missions. These are the main people. They look horrible. Look at this space cow. Dude, this guy right here. Who's this guy? Wait a second. I gotta hear the space
The
cowboy.
parts you choose to build with don't just affect your ship's
This
stats.
better not be a main guy.
They'll also affect what you can do inside your ship. You can have modules for crafting or for storing and displaying your weapons.
I gotta hear this.
Starfield's in-game ship manufacturers bring their own look and feel to every piece of your ship. From living quarters to cargo holds, mess halls, and control rooms.
Mess halls for who? For who? Do you have a crew? Like, do you hire a crew and like hire people? What do you have a mess hall for if it's just you on the ship? Why would you spend time putting a mess hall in if you don't get a crew? Do you get a crew? Can you answer me this? Anybody? Like, do you recruit people and you can have like a crew like an Enterprise? Well, I guess that's a no. I don't know.
Our modified Frontier is a practical ship, but with a little creativity, your ship can look like
you on your journey. These companions can serve on your crew.
Oh, here we go.
And
The
they'll
companions.
always be there when you travel.
We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact
So that guy's a
or this
companion?
lead runs dry.
You have an AI crew.
Each companion comes with their own value.
This is a companion. This is a dude. Look at this guy. Todd, what were you saying about fidelity? This is a companion that I could have. This flat face son of a bitch I'm gonna be staring at this guy's face on my cruise ship. This is the detail that they're putting in crew members? What did they hit random on the creator generator of characters? This is a key person of the crew. This is a main dude. The space cowboy, Sam Coe. Do you see this guy? I gotta get now. You know what, Todd? I think he's living on the grinds board. I think Todd is gonna be living on the grinds board for this one because I gotta hear him again. Todd, what did you say again? Where is he?
X, it's 1440 on the S. We do lock it at 30 because we want that fidelity. We want all that stuff. We don't want to sacrifice any of it. Fortunately, in this one, we've got it running great. It's often running way above that. Sometimes it's 60. But on the consoles, we do lock it because we prefer the consistency.
Yeah.
Right? You're not even thinking about it. And we don't ever want to sacrifice that experience that makes our games, really, really special. So, feels great. We're really happy with how it feels, even in the heat of battle. And we need.
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh, no.
Holy
Oh,
Spirit,
no. Oh, no.
activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate. Activate.
Sam Coe, part of my crew. The game night goes. I do find it weird. Microsoft once again decided to have some exclusivity embargo on Atlas games. I don't know what they're trying to convince people that these Japanese games are exclusive. I saw that. Yes, they put an embargo where Sony or the media cannot say it's also coming out, which is interesting. The game night is that when Sony showed their show, Microsoft was quick to say, hey, these games are on Xbox, but they prevent Sony from doing the same thing. But Sony will probably never do that because that's just petty shit. But my Xbox does that stuff. But it's just interesting that they do that to kind of block some sort of, for the day at least, it seems like Xbox is doing their job when really they're not. Another smoke and mirrors, because that's all they do is smoke and mirrors. And that's the thing that grinds my gears so much about them. They're so fake. Shipping Major Nelson down to Mexico City. Like they're just that guy, the bearded guy, taking pictures with YouTube influencers. Like they're just like, and they lie. Like this all this stuff. They talked about the most powerful console, and now they're the ones making excuses why their games are 30 frames per second. Meanwhile, Phil said it's all about resolution. It's all about frame rate. Liquid Data says it's Todd early damage controlling. Yeah, dude. This game, if it hits 60, dude, if it hits 30, they're talking about if it hits 60. Dude, this thing's not going to be no 60. It's if it hits 30. And it's already chugging along, dude.
Valuable skills for your ships and outposts.
Look at this guy.
And think about that. That was PC footage.
Look at this. Yo. You're right. It didn't even show it on content. Like, look at this. These AI crew guys. Oh, my God. Do you have to feed them and shit? Or they die? That's why you need the mess hole? Yo, I'm telling you, these towns and stuff look so, like, empty and robotic. It does not look like a bustling city and stuff like that. It looks so robotic. And look at all this stuff. It's all just people standing around on planets and then shooting and stuff. It's a bunch of people just standing around on planets. Like, what's the exploration like? Like, how do you land on a planet and go walk around? Why is everybody just standing? There's so many shots of the guy just standing on a planet. Look like he's taking a piss. I don't get it, dude. This is some wild stuff. But the fact that, again, I think it was, we'll see what this game is. Like, you know, I still think there's a lot to know. You know, and here's the planet stuff. Like, see, civilian outpost, industrial outpost. So he's scanning. So you could only land here and here, I guess. You can't just like say, hey, I want to land over here and go there. I guess. Oh, wait, you can? Destination. I don't know. They never showed just a straight up mission, dude. Just a straight up mission. Like the gameplay loop. That's the thing. And that's what I was saying in Star Wars we saw. The gameplay loop. They didn't show the gameplay loop in this. So all that talk never showed the gameplay loop. They showed the mechanics and everything. Where's the gameplay loop? Get a mission and go. You have until September to show that on top of that one. But what's really crazy, and here's something that's interesting here. Let's see here. What do I have on this thing? These were the most watched trailers from Xbox Showcase, and actually the Star Wars Outlaw was the most watched one. Cyberpunk, and then the Starfield Direct came in third. Right above Payday 3. Fable was sitting at a 1.3 million. And to put it in perspective, here's Sony's 24-hour ones. Marathon at 13 million, Spider-Man at 12 million. Talk about interest. Starfield, 0.6 million. The 24-hour turnaround time. Very interesting there on that one. You would think Starfield with all the hype and stuff. And then, you know, speak just the Starfield thing.
Wait, Starfield was at what?
1.3. The Starfield Direct was at 1.2 million, 24-hour.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, no, 1.6 million. I'm sorry. 1.6 million. The Starfield gameplay trailer. Yeah. The Starfield Direct only had 1.6 million views. The Fable had 1.3. These are their individual trailers. So if they watched the live show, I guess they wouldn't click on these trailers. But that's what it is. Where Spider-Man came in with 12, and then Marathon had 13 million in 24 hours.
How and why?
I don't know. People, they just want to see what it is, I guess. There was no...
There was nothing.
Well, you would think the gameplay would get the most views, right? Except the trailer. I don't know, man. I don't know what we're doing here with all this crap. But here's the specs to Starfield. Like, you know, when they're saying about on console, recommended specs is NVIDIA 2080. minimum is a 1070 Ti or a Radeon 5700 and a 6800. An SSD is required. Interesting. i7 and an... I don't know why, and I think too, like, and I was listening to you this morning, and I missed the rest of it, but you were talking, and you were saying that, the guy that came on, I forgot his name, he was talking to you early in the morning, but he was saying that he believes the S is kind of like the reason why this is these kind of 30 frames, like they're not pushing for the fidelity. Like, you don't think so? You're saying it's not the S?
Oh no, it's not the S. You know why it's not the S? Because people know what they got when they went out and bought the S. So why would you need to withhold what the Xbox Series X can do when you also promise them 60 FPS?
Right. See, that's what I thought they were going to do.
So if the S couldn't do it, then it just couldn't do it.
And they're games that shipped like that too. They're not their games, but they're third-party games where it says like the S doesn't have a performance mode. Yeah. Or ray tracing mode, or a 120 mode. Yeah, there are games that they launched and they said, we don't have it yet on the S. So why?
Here's the secret, Jez. Here's the secret, Jez. The X can't do it.
That's the. But what about Redfall?
The mode would be inconsistent.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're not. I think this, and I think that's the point. I think that these consoles, maybe exactly what J-Dub was saying, like these things were really pushed as some technical leap, the X at least was pushed as this technical leapfrog, and it really isn't, because you're right. We're seeing this also in third-party games. Like that X is not really flexing. There's weird stutters, there's weird things, and I think they did some weird stuff with the RAM, or there's something that they're doing with these consoles, and this is why I believe when they launched them and why they're shaped like this. Those consoles are made to be servers for they're ideal for serving a game over the internet. So I feel like they were designed to be some sort of like heartbeat of a server farm rather than a at-home independent gaming console. A gaming console made like how the PS5 made to be optimized to experience locally. I think there's a lot of I think that Xbox was built because that's what they're using them for. They're using them, and that's what even Bootleg Jez says. Like he's like, the reason why the X can't be found is because they're allocating them to the cloud because they power the cloud. So I think there is some sort of thing with these consoles, whether with the RAM, the way they're designed, that there's bottlenecks that I think they lean them more to being in a conjunction in a server farm than actually being an independent, most powerful console that's optimized to run a lot of stuff, natively on the thing. I think that there's maybe some, I don't know. I'm just thinking it's just a speculation there that, these things, the reason why the Xbox console still exists is because they're using it to power their cloud. So they're like, hey, why don't we sell some of these things while we're building our server farm for our cloud future? And while people make games for us, we won't fall into the problem that Stadia fell into where they need to create something for a unique piece of hardware. They don't have to do that. By just making an Xbox game, and Phil said this too, they're making a cloud game. Whenever a game's made for Xbox, it's made for the cloud. And that's their strategy, is kind of duping devs into not doing double work. And that's the whole reason why it's there. But there's something there's something weird because third parties experiencing it as well. There's some strange thing going on. So I think Sick, you're right. Like I think the X and also too, I think too, Starfield specifically, it's a PC game first and ported to consoles. They make this game for PC and this is a port. And I bet you to get this thing to run on these consoles the way they want it to run, Phil's just like, ship it. He's like, they go in there and they're like, ship it. And then he goes, Phil's like this.
Would you ship that? What you just played? Would you ship that?
He's like, yes, ship it. Ship it. That's exactly what he's doing on there. Oh, goodness gracious. So let me see what I had on here too. Yeah, so like this always jumped to the 30 frame talk, but like, You know, one of the things I was thinking about, too, as we're going down this pathway here, and I don't think everybody will agree, but compare this, if we want to just compare showcases, the two of them together on the stuff, honestly, going back and watching this Xbox showcase and looking at this stuff, I think for Xbox, this is not what they needed to do. I think it's more of smoke and mirrors to pacify the issues that they had, because Phil went on there crying, saying about, quality games. We got to ship what quality. We need to do this. They didn't show quality gameplay with their stuff. Avowed looked rough. Something's going down with Forza. I don't know if you agree, Sick, but why is Forza usually that is front and center, and it seems strange that they're not just showing a straight up race, just showing some, I don't know. They haven't showed the mechanics, the menu systems. Is there gonna, and also I saw the box art required online. Where are all those Gran Turismo haters that were going crazy last year? Where are they? Where are they? I need to see where all of them are. The box art's right here. Where is it? It says right here. Requires the internet. Where are all those Gran Turismo crazies out there? All the Xbox guys it is a single race game. Why do I need to be online? But they really didn't show that much on Forza, so that's strange. But for Xbox, what did this do? And I think actually for Xbox, the issue is that these games, a majority of them, except for this Compulsion one, really, and the Clockwork, which is getting some hate from the BioShock people because they actually mirrored that. I'll show that in a bit. But Avowed, Fable, those games were announced years ago. And years later, they're still not showing a straight up gameplay slice of those games. Well, Avowed they did, but Fable they didn't. So what is the management issue over there? What is the progress to these games like Fable? Because that on this showcase, Fable didn't show progress. They could have used that as an announcement for Fable in 2020. Instead, they just showed a fairy get eaten by a frog for Fable. But this thing, what they showed today, could have been an announcement. The only difference in this one was that it was using some assets that the artists are drawing. It's not in gameplay. It's just some assets that they made, and they said, yeah, this is in-game, because they made in-game, like the guy said, I drew the trees, I drew the chicken. That now they made a CGI with my assets from the game. That's what they did. And the thing I like, Clockwork, looked interesting, but again, who knows when that's coming out. And the main thing is that we're going to ship with quality. And I don't think they really proved it here. So for people to say this was an incredible show, I really think that they're just capping on this stuff. But what I think is hilarious, and this kind of shows it right here, is the difference between the Sony showcase and the Xbox showcase. Take this guy. 3 C's in the chat, please. Here he is. Well, this goes to the 30 frames. This goes to the other stuff, right? Talking about 30 frames, trashing on Redfall, but then loving Starfield at 30 frames. Right? But one of the things, though, I found interesting is that when we look at why PlayStation Showcase was criticized, a lot of the Xbox guys had a lot to say. There was a lack of first-party gameplay. They didn't show gameplay. It was lacking gameplay. But Xbox knocked it out of the park. And I would say Spider-Man showed more uncut gameplay that it's trusting that that's what's going to play. And I think it's going to look even better. Sony games get better looking than all the cuts and slices and all that stuff that was done with Starfield and Avowed and all this other stuff. Microsoft, I've always said, has trouble showing their games. Whether it's lack of confidence, whether it's bad management, Microsoft cannot show their gameplay effectively. The only game they did it with was Forza Horizon 5, where they actually showed just a straight-up race and showed things. They don't do that. And the thing is that how can you be so upset and Sony Showcase sucked when Microsoft did the same exact thing? And actually, they did it worse, because what they did was they tried to fool you to tell you that it is gameplay. They pulled a PlayStation 3 Killzone 2 on you. Remember that? Remember how that was argued that that's not gameplay in Killzone 2. That's not gameplay. Dude, when they shipped Killzone 2, it was close to it. A lot of comparisons. It was close to it. But unfortunately for Xbox, their track record and the trust that they're trying to gather, it's not going to help them with this. And Phil said it in the interview when he was talking to Giant Bomb. Like, we have to get trust. You think showing that Fable trailer is giving you trust? When we just showed you what Avowed looked like and what Avowed gameplay looked like, showed you what Halo CGI looked like and the Halo game came out to look like, Redfall, and what Redfall gameplay came out, Hellblade 2, Smoke and Mirrors in 2019, and what we get, her walking in a cave in 2023? That game was announced in 2019 with CGI, then shown some fight a year and a half ago. Oh, no, at the Game Awards. Then no mention of it. And now, you don't show combat, you don't show a fight, you don't show a puzzle, you don't show anything. You use your showcase to show her walking in a cave in a cutscene. Is that going to get you trust? The trust that you need to earn back, that you said you lost? I don't think so. You show by making the great games. You show by shipping great games, but you show gameplay of that.
Who needs gameplay?
Yeah, right.
Hype.
Well, they're good on that stuff. He loves that. You know how I was listening to that Giant Bomb thing. I don't know if you listened to that thing. I was like listening to it last night. Yo, he loves the showcase. He loves the stage. He loves when they chant his name. He loves himself. Ooh. Phil. He loves the stage. He loves the energy from the crowd cheering for him. And being there and feeling that stuff. It hurts him probably so. That's why he keeps that fan fest alive. Because he needs that energy that he's accepted in this community. And I think it's even weird now that he is calling it a community and a culture and stuff like that. Like, the leader of the clan is acknowledging that this is a community. And he's trying to invite all these mobile gamers and PC dudes into this community, into this. And I think it's weird that he's been referring to it. Not just gamers. He used to talk just about gamers. Now he seems to be really focusing on the people that get their ass signed, that he mocks.
He's loving that tribalism, huh?
Yeah. I think so. I think he's loving it. He's like, yeah, let's get to some of the phrases from Phil Ness here. Some of these interviews. Is this it? No, this is not it. Come on, Giant Bomb. Get out of here. Here it is. Is this it? No. That was 3 years ago. Where is it? Is this the one? Him and Booty? Yes. There we go.
And that's quality.
What?
That's quality games. That's games coming on a regular cadence every year.
There's some Phil Ness.
And we didn't do that in 2022. Right. And we heard the feedback. 2021 was a good year. Yeah. 2022 was not a good year. And this year we've had some good releases, and we had Redfall, which was not a good release. Right. And this show, I love seeing the reaction, but now we're going to go ship those games. Yeah. And then that's really what I think when we deliver. In terms of the Game Pass question specifically, I just want to make sure it's not about growing Game Passes. We want to make sure the game industry is growing, and we do think
that helps the players on our platform. It's probably a longer discussion. Happy to do it, but on why that is. In terms of Game Pass specifically, Game Pass is kind of a means to an end, which is we just want more people to be able to play more games. And the cost of a video game is something that keeps some people from playing, like the upfront cost, even from trying new things. So we think a kind of zero margin.
Upfront cost blocks people from trying new things. That's what he says. What about demos, Phil? Like, I just played Final Fantasy XVI demo. There's no cost to that. What about that? To try Final Fantasy, I'm playing a demo right now. That's not a barrier.
He said that last night? He said that last night?
Yeah. He says that Game Pass helps people try games because the cost of games stop people from trying games.
That's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Zelda just sold 10 million at $70.
Yeah, try Zelda. You have to try it before you buy. No. Because guess what? They showed the game. They showed you what you're going to get. They were honest. They didn't try to dupe you. They didn't try to show you gameplay and CGI and talk about this or ship it not ready at 30 frames or patch later. Or, see, that's the thing. What I don't understand is that I feel that Game Pass gives, it helps Phil and Microsoft. This was last night, Dante. This is his interview last night. I think Game Pass helps them take the pressure off their developers and helps them more than it helps us. Because I feel like as a Game Pass subscriber, you become like a beta tester or just a lame duck, and you just get to wait for them to fix the game while you're paying subscriptions. But what it does to them is that it gets them to just kind of lean off the developers, go, hands off, ass first. Yeah, you could ship it now. We'll just put it in Game Pass. We'll fix it later. And it helps them have an easier job at the mercy of us experiencing shit that's not ready for prime time and not worth the cost of their asking price. That's what I think Game Pass does. I think it helps them just be like a bunch of lazy bullshitters. Because that's all it's proven. Halo came out the way it was because of Game Pass. A year later to add co-op to the single player, $60 game. Tell me who if that's what you're shipping, then you're damn right I'm going to have to try this shit out because I don't trust you. You're the reason why I don't trust the game. Final Fantasy, I bet you there's tons of people out there that don't even touch the demo to know that they want to play that game because Sony and Square did their job to show you everything that you're going to be doing, everything to expect. They broke it down. They gave you the confidence to buy it because you know what you're going to get. Microsoft's not. That Fable, you go ahead. You pre-ordering it? You buying that game right now? Dude, you don't even know what that looks like. Avowed, the downgrade that got? You picking that shit up right now? Microsoft didn't do their job. Starfield? There's some sus shit in that thing. You gonna go drop a money on it? Good luck. But
the
I bet
only
you
game I think was really truly noteworthy was that Clockwork.
That game, I'm interested in that game. That was a good showing of that game. And know why? Because they copied the BioShock trailer. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see that? They copied the BioShock trailer for that one. But this whole barrier of like trying and Game Pass helps them with all this other crap. Like, it's so like, yeah, speaking of that Clockwork thing, where is it? This guy, Butt Mac, came out here. Look at this. He compares the BioShock, look at this, the BioShock trailer to that, what was shown for that. This is the game, I like this game. This it looked interesting. A little over 10 years ago, I got to produce the BioShock Infinite trailers, so those scenes are scorched in my brain. Watching the trailer for Clockwork Revolution today, I felt like I was having a flashback, so I made some comparisons. Dude, the internet is on. Look at this stuff, dude. The Daisy character with the scarf really cracked me up. The robot with look at they did. The guy compared. The person, dude, they pretty much carried the BioShock Infinite trailer. Look at this. The Comstock, Lady Ironwood, the future is full steam ahead. Like, all that kind of... Yeah, it is totally like Bioshock Infinite. Pretty little crazy there. Yeah.
Dude, 30 FPS is nasty, bro.
What? What'd you
30
say?
FPS is nasty.
Dude, that's if it hits 30 FPS, dude. That's if it hits it. And you saw that gameplay for Starfield. It was chugging. It was when it was doing that combat, like it was moving. Isn't that crazy?
Did you watch the Hellblade? That same.
Yes, that started too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's gonna come out at 60? Now they patched that later on.
No, that's definitely gonna be at 30.
Well, here's this thing about it. This guy here.
About 2020.
Gaming comes up.
We found the booty.
Is this make or break, which some people say,
Yep.
and which.
Oh, this is the interview?
This is the interview last night, yeah. I'm just trying to find the clips of it. I listened to it.
True, like we have so much.
That booty look, dog. That man look like he is just under so much stress right now.
Dude. Yo, he was like shivering in his boots when he had to say something. He was looking at Phil. Because Phil dominates the conversation, man. He could care less. He won't let Booty talk. And Booty's like, yeah, I some of the things, I don't know if I have them all.
The company's getting ready to spend $70 billion buying a publisher.
Wait, what is
this coming week, right? So those.
My Dune vehicle at Flight Sim.
I
get my Dune, or what's it called?
Ornithopter.
I didn't have that. Number of games for X dollars a month, or we could use free. That seems to be the.
Yeah, she brought up the issue about like getting curated games and shit like that, but anyway,
it's not actually free.
Now, where's this thing about the Starfield? Where's this? It's over here.
I remember very vividly a Thursday night. It's like rainy.
That you believe that they're a market?
All I can look at are our users and the business, and the business has never been bigger. I think earlier I talked about we'll do over $1 billion in PC revenue this
going for a couple 3 years. You know, it's a little bit to Phil's point.
Watch when Booty talks.
No doubt.
When Booty's talk.
The reality is, so am I. Like I've been here all day to talk about this stuff. So
Booty's allowed to say something here.
Silo, we'll say a bunch
Booty's
of
like,
stuff
you know what? I hear things when I'm making
a
unique. Booty talks here because he goes, you know what? Booty's like the secret shopper, right? He's the dude that's in the background lurking, peeking over cubicles and stuff, making the coffee. He's like the office, the rumor dude. Like he's like, I hear things when I'm walking around the office making those coffees, and he talks a little bit, and he allows them to talk.
That's
Jeff Grubb, yeah.
We have fun. Yeah. As long as Matt and I were like, you good?
I'm good.
Okay.
How about you, Matt? What's it been like for you to kind of like be in it again?
Here it is.
Immediately.
It's just really feels good for the teams, right? Our teams.
Look
they
at
work
Phil's
so
face.
hard.
Say, this
Through all the
bastard's
challenges
talking.
and all the expectations. They got to keep their heads down and work. And it was great that we had people from Obsidian, Turn 10, In Exile in the audience. And just, it's a big moment for them, right?
That's the thing I wonder about.
Like all those dudes I give coffee to every week. It's nice to see them in the crowd.
Take more time and effort than they've ever taken before. Is that accurate?
Yeah, we start working on this show in January, February. So most of the teams
Phil
will
looking
show
at
up
him.
with
He's like, "You gotta
storyboards
say
of what
what I
they're going to
told
present.
you."
We start looking at it like right after.
That's
holiday.
That's 6 months. That's half a year.
Yeah, and it's a lot for them because everybody, it's part of our process, which is great. But there's a lot of eyeballs on it. There's a lot of feedback, a lot of rework, but it pays off, right? So, but for the teams, for me, it's a combination of just feeling so proud for them, happy that they get their moment in the sun, especially when it's something cool and when we can surprise people. I'm just proud of them, right? Our team's been working so hard.
Yeah, you said it pays off. Is there a math that happens where you're like looking at it like, okay,
how's it pay off? They haven't shipped the game yet.
That is a big promotional thing for your game. Instead,
like I don't understand. Like Booty's sitting there going, "It's so nice to see it pays off." Are you talking about showing the trailer at the showcase? That's the payoff? Like, you're not even playing the games, dude. Like, what's the payoff? You still got to ship this thing. Oh, my God, dude. Wait, let's keep going with the booty talk.
Instead of maybe doing some work on the game
it's like a fireside booty talk.
Itself. Is there a calculus there?
Yeah, for us, ideally, we're taking stuff that's already been put together and trying to put it in a package, right? Yeah. So, Phil and
Booty talking about packages. Pause. Wait, let's hear more about the booty. I hear
booty. I came looking for booty.
Usually the day before Friday, we were at In Exile, we're at Obsidian,
Yep.
seeing stuff. A year ago, we saw Clockwork Revolution running, played it. Phil played it on a console, and you can
Whoa! Booty!
Why is he staring at that man like that,
Yo, look at what he said. This last one, man. Phil played that Clockwork game. Booty, why didn't you play it? Were you getting the coffees? Like, look at Phil. Phil was like, I played it. It's interesting. Phil played it.
We saw Clockwork Revolution running, played it. Phil played it on a console, and you can see a lot of what we saw.
Do you see how Phil corrects him?
Produce for these big.
Booty says, I went over there and we saw Clockwork. Phil's like, played it. He's like, corrects the Booty. He's like, Booty, don't be talking out that ass. Don't be talking out that ass again, man. If he got the death stare on him, Phil was like, Booty, he's like,
Where's the lamb sauce? It's raw, Melissa.
Yes, chef.
Booty, listen again. I think it's hilarious.
Events.
Booty's like, we saw it. Phil's like, played it.
Than they've ever taken before. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean, we start working on this show in January, February, so most of the teams will show up with storyboards of what they're going to present. We start looking at it like right after holiday.
That's half a year.
Yeah, and it's a lot for them because everybody, it's part of our process, which is great, but there's a lot of eyeballs on it. There's a lot of feedback, a lot of rework, but it pays off, right? So, but for the teams, for me, it's a combination of just feeling so proud for them, happy that they get their moment in the sun, especially when it's something cool and when we can surprise people. I'm just proud of them, right? Our team's been working so hard.
Yeah, you said it pays off. I mean, is there a math that happens where you're like looking at it like, okay, you are going to
Sarah Bond, they know what they're doing there.
For your game, instead of maybe doing some work
she knows
on the
what
game
she's
itself.
doing, man. I wouldn't mind.
Calculus there?
These two dudes get out of there.
For
Just
us,
put Sarah Bond in there.
ideally, we're taking stuff that's already been put together and trying to put it in a package, right?
Yeah.
So Phil and I, usually the day before Friday, we were at In Exile, we're at Obsidian, seeing stuff. A year ago, we saw Clockwork Revolution running, played it. Phil played it on a console. And you can see a lot of what we saw a year ago in the trailer. So that's ideal and we're trying to get more and more to that where it's less stop what you're doing, go make this trailer, and more what have you got running that we can capture that then becomes
you're my number one customer.
Exactly what I was wondering.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say you talked about having this stuff prepared in advance. Obviously, these showcases are no longer just we're gonna show you things. It's also like a kind of a statement that you're trying to make, or you're trying to present a message, or you're trying to make sure that the audience knows where you're going with things. How do you deal with the nature of needing to be reactive to changing times and opinions? Obviously, jumping into the thick of it, you guys had a recent, the narrative around Xbox became kind of stuck on Redfall and needing to kind of bounce back from that. How do you react to that, knowing that a showcase like this started its production 6 months ago? And do you suddenly have the kind of flexibility to be like, we need to move these pieces about so we can address this thing?
Yeah, we honestly don't. And I know there were, like, I was watching.
Booty's like, I'm not answering that one.
On the internet when the Persona stuff leaked, and people were like, oh, that was in Summer Games Fest, and they pulled it to put it in our show.
Sure, yeah.
And you're like, no, those things have been in the. Our show was in the can for 10 days. So, like, you don't. Rewind a little bit. I think it's kind of unfair for us to go to a team and say, hey, like, the Xbox brand is in this. Like, has this weight on it right now, and wouldn't it be really great if your asset could be the thing that we could point out, or your game could be the thing that we point at that kind of changes that narrative? It's just not fair to any individual team.
Yeah. But Phil's lying right there because I don't think he has anything that will turn that around because they have dug a grave. Phil, you know what, Phil? You know what's so crazy is this is the tale of the two Philnesses. Phil said this. Phil, what did you just say?
Just focused more on great games on our console that somehow we're going to win the console race. I think doesn't really lay into the reality of our console that somehow we're going to win the console race. I think doesn't really lay into the reality.
Build a great Project Scarlet. I want people to feel like they can have.
I see commentary that if you just build great games, everything would turn around. It's just not true
that if we go off and build great games, all of a sudden you're going to see console share shift in some dramatic way. We lost the.
He said it right there. So what do you mean, like, go? It's not fair to them to say we need to them. You want to know what I think, Phil? I think, guess what? You did it, and you did it in front of all our faces. You did exactly what you said you didn't want to do. And you did it with Fable. There was no reason to show Fable. There was no gameplay. There was nothing in Fable. No release date, no year. And you opened with it. You opened with a game without a year. Fable's not coming out next year. Why would you even show Fable? Because you needed exactly what you say you didn't do. And of course, you're not telling Playground to go make a game, like go make gameplay. But you showed Fable for what? Fable was shown in 2020 with a CGI trailer, and you basically did the same thing again. However, you used some of the trees that were drawn in the castle. What did it do? It did exactly what you said you don't want to do. It's not fair. You're going to save us. That's exactly why Fable opened up, because Fable was the apology to what he needed. He needed something. He couldn't just show Compulsion's game, Clockwork. Think about it. If Fable wasn't there, people wouldn't even, Fable, first of all, Fable didn't even get the bigger views, but Fable has that legacy. That's what the fans want, that Xbox fans, like, they want to see those old legacy, like the Xbox stuff, right? And Fable did that.
And I think that's important. But the show itself is the show. Like, we'll pick some themes.
Right.
I think we knew this.
You wanted a lot of big guys. There was a lot of big guys in a lot of the trailers.
Big guys, little freaks.
Big guys, little freaks.
We knew that first party would be strong in this show. We knew first party. Like, 2022 was a light year for us on first party, no doubt.
Yeah.
But we also knew we've got over 20 studios building games and the progress that the teams were making. So I think early on, we were pretty certain this was going to be a strong first-party show.
Yeah, right.
And then as the assets started to come together and you started to see the quality and having a couple of new IP announces, then I think is where it all really paid off. But that's obviously through the planning of months, not in the last week.
So he didn't do it in the last week. Game night 1, 2, 3 of the 5. He goes, I wouldn't trust Phil when he said he played games he had fun with. Look at Crackdown 3. Perfect example. Oh man, you're right, Game Night. He played Crackdown 3. Phil he's not Goldfinger, he's Shitfinger.
We'll get to that. I think that's interesting of like figuring out when these games can actually come out. Obviously, that's a problem for everybody. But you said something a minute ago where it's you would feel awkward going to these studios and say you need to help the brand, so do this. It feels like, and I think this is a good thing, I wonder what your opinion is on it, that you want these studios to be doing the things that they want to be doing, and then you guys figure out the best way to then empower that. Is that what's happening, and then what are the issues that causes?
I think somebody asked me today, like, what's sort of the main thing you'd love to come out of this show? For me, I think one thing for us as a studio system is that this validates the approach, because as you point out, we put a lot of empowerment on our studio heads. A lot of them are creative directors. They help guide the project. We don't have a system where there's a central sort of brain trust telling everybody what to make. So there's a lot of risk in that. But when it pays off, I think you see a variety of games, which is important to us. And I think, to your exact point, you get the passion of what they want to make comes through in the pixels, right? So, we've been trying to get that going for 3 years. It's a little bit to Phil's point when people say, "Did you put that character in because of something that happened last month?" I'm like, "Okay, that character was designed 2 years ago. There's nothing that happened last week on this game, right?" And that means that we got to be patient. We got to know that it's going to pay off, and we got to get behind the studio heads. That so much of what we do depends on them as leaders locally in their studio and owning the creative.
Yeah, that also makes me wonder, like getting behind the studio. You mentioned with Redfall, we're not going to like obsess over that.
There you go, exactly what you said.
Redfall 2, is that what you just
said? It didn't get the support it needed, but then you said immediately after that, like, we're doing that with Starfield. What does that look like? You don't have to get the specifics, but like if there's anything like color you can add to what that looks like. What does support for Starfield look like from your guys' perspective?
And also, like, how much of that support is now being put into the games that are shown today? Is Fable getting that level of support?
Yeah.
Is Avowed getting that level of support? Because when you first talked about it, you indicated that it was like you were still kind of getting those engines warmed up, and that's kind of why it didn't work in that end. But are you at a stage now where the full kind of system is working as it should for all these other games?
Go for it.
Yeah.
So first, one thing to point, I think
Booty has to ask him.
I'm going to have to apologize ahead of time because I'm going to stretch his ass like it's never been stretched before.
I think with ZeniMax Bethesda, let's think about what's happened since acquisition. So they shipped Deathloop, good game. Ghostwire, good game. Hi-Fi Rush, good game. So they got
This is 2 Sony games. A good game. Dude, you were not involved in the Deathloop and Ghostwire. How you get credit for that? Sony made sure those asses were pucking up. Not you, Booty. You don't get credit for that one.
You're done. You're washed. It's over.
There. So a little bit of, is it something new? Not really, right? I think with Redfall and Starfield, the thing that we're applying on Starfield, we talked a little bit about it this afternoon. We've got first the Advanced Technology Group that sits under Sarah Bond, right? They know the Xbox hardware in and out. That's their lives, and they're there to help teams get frame rate, graphics. They help with the ray tracing on Forza. You ask, are they helping on Avowed? That's a place where we've got the Unreal expertise. So our studio, the Coalition up in Vancouver, I think that outside of Epic, they are like tops in the industry on Unreal. So those are the kinds of things that we're able to apply.
And is that working? Like, is that actually, is it been effective? Is that growing? Is it better than ever? What's the state of that?
Well, I think on
I'm going to have to apologize ahead of time because I'm going to stretch his ass like it's never been stretched before.
Man, stretching somebody's anus. Wow.
I'm zooming in on Phil's face because that's exactly what he's thinking.
I'm going to have to apologize ahead of
What's
time.
really going
I'm
on?
going to stretch his ass like it's never been stretched before.
Take a look at this. Brutus, this is incredible. What a package.
What are we really doing here?
Phil's giving him the freaking death eye, man. He's Phil's like, you suck.
Oh no! We suck again!
What?
I'm going to have to apologize ahead of time because I'm going to stretch his ass like it's never been stretched before.
Oh, man. Booty's on death watch. Death by Booty.
Starfield, Todd will tell you that we've been engaged since like early last year. And I hope that it shows up in terms of how stable the game is, what they're able to put on screen in terms of graphics, but even a little bit also what it means to be a first-party game. It's one of the things we talk about. Is,
Wait, Jess, can you hear me?
Wait, I'm playing the video.
We'll never get to ship.
Okay, just making sure you can hear me.
Yeah.
Will always be looked at as first-party.
Is that a little unfair to them?
Well, I think that's where it's on us to support them early, and maybe that's something we could have done a little better with Redfall, but that is that transition that happens, and that's where I think the Starfield team would say that they feel supported.
In terms of...
Oh, go on.
Oh, sorry, Lucy,
No, I mean, I was going to jump to some third-party question, but it kind of like goes into sort of looking at lineup. Obviously, the Persona stuff, Persona 3 leaked, but we still got the surprises, and we talked about reception of the show. A lot of people so stoked to see such incredible representation from Japanese devs in.
Anyway, I think I'm gonna break down some more of this thing to see if I can find any cool sound bit clips. But I wanted to highlight some of those things that were going on in that thing. But that's where that interview came up, where he was talking about the whole the Phil Ness on that stuff. But I'm gonna that thing. I was watching some of it. I just wanted to highlight some of those things. But man, Phil was giving him the death eye, man. When Booty talked, he like looked at him, was like, Phil, can I say it? He's like, this is my show on this one. But I think we got all our topics in today, but definitely there's plenty more to talk about. I'm sure Twitter is going to provide a slew of entertainment because there's some of the things I didn't even get to as we debate more about the 30 frames per second and the lies of Phil Ness going on there. But Frogs, did you have anything about the PlayStation showcase and Xbox showcase or anything like that?
Outside of people just have to realize gaming is changing. Hopefully, in some instances, for the better. I would say, go play these demos. Go play Lies of P, see if you like it. Go play Final Fantasy, see if you like it. Play some of these demos to give you an opportunity to try this stuff out. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. You know where you stand. And I just and I really oh man, I guess the best way to say this, man, I feel bad for people who can't realize that their console choice may have some issues because I know PlayStation's my console choice, but when they F up, I'm gonna say it because I want better. I don't want to sit there and not tell them, hey, you're effing up and make you seem like shoot. Same with Diablo. When I was having all the problems with Diablo, I spoke on it. Am I enjoying the game? Yes, but nothing's perfect. Speak upon what's not perfect and what you feel should be better. Don't let these companies sit here and just get over on you. And that's about it.
Yep. But yeah, I would say, overall, I would say that, Ubisoft did have a good show on their stuff. They showed gameplay. I think that's how games should be shown on there. But I do think, when I was thinking about it, I really feel that, the Sony, if we look at the how Sony kind of put its news all over the place, I think, there were definitely more significant announcements that are things that we're going to experience pretty soon from PlayStation. And I think the frustration that a lot of people felt was we want to know kind of the future stuff, especially from their first party studios. And I feel that the thing is that Sony hasn't really done that too much in the sense where they kind of focus on what's coming out now before they move on to the next thing. They did it with God of War. They did it they did it with the Ratchet. They waited to Ratchet launch before they talked about their next game. And then they kind of wait on these things. But I do think it's time for them to kind of show some more things because even without them talking, they were able to get their news out. They dropped the Final Fantasy demo. That's them. That's all marketing and stuff like that. Yes, it's Square Enix, but Sony is definitely, I'm sure having influence on that as well. But, the thing about it, Spider-Man had the most gameplay and showing that stuff. And I really think that, the Sony showcase compared to the Xbox One, I really don't like these new models where they could just show CGI. I really think they should show less games with more gameplay and then, if they want to announce a game here and there to do that stuff. But I feel like, for a Sony show, that was bad from what they used to do with showcases. That wasn't up to the standard of what they did with showcases. But overall, over the next couple of weeks, I think the Sony news actually was much more exciting and much more recent, things that Microsoft needed to do. What you're going to give me now, and that's where Sony kind of handled that. Here's Final Fantasy 16, that's coming out now. So basically, I do feel that the news actually was more of what's happening now, where Microsoft needed to do that, and they didn't do that. Instead, they gave more promises, announced more games that have some future release date. Microsoft really wasn't in the position. I didn't watch all of Ubisoft, but I did watch. I think that was one of the better ones. And then again, Jeff Keighley's show was carried by a Sony marketing, I guess, the Final Fantasy stuff. But and this whole Sony focusing on gas and stuff, dude, they showed gameplay of Spider-Man and stuff. And I think they need to show more on their first-party games. But for Microsoft's comparison, for an Xbox show, Microsoft just did more of the same stuff. They just did more of it with their first party. They kind of replicated their 2020 show where they just show a bunch of first party stuff. But Microsoft really isn't in the position of announcing new games like Compulsion's game and also that Clockwork game when they have a whole slew of games such as Perfect Dark, State of Decay 3, Everwild, all these other games that are on their list without any updates. And the problem is that Microsoft, and I said this before, puts all their stuff in one basket. This is their showcase. They got an extended one in the next day or so, but this is where they have their showcase. And he alluded to some of the stuff, like maybe they'll have some things at Gamescom and stuff, but it's not going to, I don't think it's going to be updates on Perfect Dark at Gamescom. And maybe they'll show something at the Game Awards. But the problem is Microsoft has very finite times when they talk about their business. Sony's able to use other developers, partnerships, other things to get news out for them. And I feel like Microsoft needed to, this is when they talk about their first party, and they needed to provide updates on the stuff they already announced. Not announce new stuff, it's coming later. You know, and I don't think that's what they should have done, because that did not satisfy what people wanted. The immediacy. Yeah, exactly. In due time, No Mercy. Exactly. We need another game in due time. What in due time for Everwild or State of Decay 3? You know what's interesting, too? Contraband. Another Xbox exclusive by Avalanche that was announced a year or so ago. They did not provide updates to games that they announced already. And they just announced more trailers in-engine. Like, Hellblade 2 was shown in 2019. It is 2023. Don't you think there should be some straight-up gameplay for some Hellblade and that be part of the showcase? How can it not be part of the showcase? Now. You're saving that for when? And the games that they announced within the 12-year window, no updates to them either. The Warhammers, all these other games, all these games that they had on their list for the 12 years, they didn't, the 12-month from last year's show, no updates on that either. Even the partnerships that they had. You tell me day one Game Pass. When is day one? How can I map this out? Arc 2 is day one. That's not coming to next year. Stalker 2. Replaced. Remember that game? Replaced. Warhammers. Who the hell know all these games that they got coming to Game Pass day one? You announced them last year. No updates. And now you announced a slew of other games with no release dates. 2024 you put. How does that keep people engaged? All you're doing is just announcing stuff with no repercussions, with no follow-up, no follow-through, no updates, no things, even with your first-party stuff. You do not have any of that stuff. One day one someday. Well, day one. Well, when's day one? Well, whenever. Play Fable, day one. No year. When? They didn't do what they needed to do. And people will tell you they did, but they didn't. They needed to get you back on track. Starfield, I think, did show some stuff. I think that's definitely a game that is. But again, people were saying before the show, Starfield and Forza, we know that. That's not enough. We knew that coming into the show. What else are we going to be playing? And they didn't do that. Because the guy said, after Phil did his thing, like, you need this showcase to bounce back and get confidence back. And look what happened. I started the show with this. What happened? Now the showcase is over and everybody's back to justifying 30 frames per second in Starfield when you just destroyed Redfall for the same reason, and their reason wasn't to get 60 frames at launch. They promised 60 frames coming at some time. It just was not ready at launch, and that you destroyed Redfall for. And Starfield is saying 30 frames locked because that's the way it is, bitch. And everybody's making excuse. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, it's the scoping and it's the sandwiches. You want sandwiches and physics, and that's... What are you talking about? Did you see any destruction in the combat with walls breaking up and nothing? Oh, because you collect sandwiches? That's why it has to be locked at 30? Really? You're shooting corridors against space pirates. Why is that 30? Is it loading assets from your spaceship? No. How? How we would destroy, because they won't hold their feet to the fire. Because this was the story they were building. This was the narrative. Xbox is down in the dumps. They horrible. Redfall was Game of the Year in March. And now is the worst reviewed game of this year. And they beat Microsoft up. They only could be positive. This showcase had to be it. And the narrative is there. And it's going to continue with Starfield. They will not trash Starfield. Just like they didn't trash Halo. Halo got the golden ticket. 86, Halo. Incomplete. Oh, yeah, we trust them. They'll put it in. Year and a half later, they're putting co-op in and canceling split screen. Meanwhile, they gave 86 like it was a complete game at launch. It was incomplete. And they told you months before it was incomplete. And you still reviewed it. That, oh, yeah, they'll hold their word. And Starfield the same way. And Starfield's not even promising you a 60 frames per second mode on console. It's not even not there at launch. It is nowhere to be found. And that is acceptable when a month ago, Redfall got the stake because it wasn't ready at launch. It's still not there. But $70 game not having a performance mode as a choice on console was the issue. And Starfield at 30 frames per second is doing the same thing. And it's not just at launch. It is forever, according to Todd Uber driver Howard. How is that not worse than Redfall? Because now he's selling you a $70 game. Hell, he is selling you a $300 game with a Todd Howard Uber watch for $300. And telling you don't get 60 frames. You don't get it. Because we don't want to do it. And how do you feel like a first-class citizen on console when you were just complaining about Redfall not having it at launch and you feel like a second-class citizen and Xbox don't care about the console? How does Todd Howard saying that make you feel that that's the best place to play? I'm going to tell you one thing, Xbox fans. If you think Starfield is going to save Xbox, it wasn't going to. It's a PC game on Steam. It's a Steam game. It's never associated with Xbox, only because they bought them for $7 billion. You want to make it yours because that's what Microsoft told you. But Starfield is not an Xbox game. It's a PC game. And they just ported it to your console because Phil decided to spend $7 billion. And that's what happens when you buy something instead of making something. It's hard to change the perception that this is an Xbox game. But I'm going to tell you this. They've proven with that 30 frame cap and lock, it is a PC game and they don't give a shit about that Xbox console. They're not that now they've proven right there the best place to play Starfield is Steam PC. The worst place to play Starfield is on console. So celebrate Xbox, bleed green. But you're being played as a fool because they're showing you are still second class because now Starfield is played worse on the console that you love, that you celebrate, that you take pictures with all of them and bleed green and wear the jerseys and the couch cushions and everything that you do for that Xbox brand. That is second class still because this is even worse than Redfall. And I know exactly what you want to do. Trash Redfall, save Starfield. Nah. Starfield's doing you dirty. And they guaranteed it's not going to move consoles. It never was. Phil said it. It could be 11 out of 10. It's not going to move consoles. It's not going to. Because that's the worst place to play right now. And they basically convinced you to say, go get a PC to go play Starfield. And I thought, at least, they should have had 60 frames on the X. I thought they were going to do it. Especially after the hate train that they got with Redfall. But they didn't. And they made Todd go out there and clear as day, lock 30 frames. Even saying we're doing well getting 60, but on console, we're keeping it there. And I want to see even if it hits 30 frames per second. And stop with the excuses. The scope, it's doing so much. Please. Nobody said that when they were showing Horizon. Nobody said that with God of War. Nobody said that with that. Nobody said any of that stuff. Nobody was giving excuses. Look at all the animals and what's going on with these big combats and all this fighting in Horizon. It's doing so much. It's 30. No. Nobody made excuses. We're next gen. And trust me, Starfield is not all that. It don't look all that. It has some move. It has some good looks. It has some cool little things. It looks interesting. But man, No Man's Sky's doing it at 60 frames, flying off of planets, flying into them without load screens. And that's at 60. Hell, that's at 100. That is actually in VR as well. Leaving planets, flying around, doing all that stuff. But because you collect some sandwiches, it stays at 30 frames. Come on now. That game's running in VR at 120 frames on a console. Todd. Doing more than you're doing. No load screens. You fly from a planet in VR at 120 frames into the space and into the planet. But because you could collect some sandwiches, we're saying 30 frames is fine on console. How does this not make the console feel second class? But Redfall did. Come on now. Stop the cap. Grow a pair. And hold their feet to the fire, because that is unacceptable as an Xbox fan. They're doing it to you again, and you're taking it. And anyway, I want to thank... That's the show, Grinders. And I want to thank everybody for coming through. Thank you, Frogs, for coming on. Give you shout-outs, man. I know you're playing your Diablo.
No problem, no problem. Yeah. No problem at all. Gonna go back and try to catch up on some of that Ubisoft stuff, see what happens.
Yeah, man, check that out.
Yeah, I'm interested in Star Wars, but we'll see.
Yeah, I had to go on my my soliloquy, on my whole ending recap thing.
No, rightly deserved, man. I agree with everything you said. I definitely agree.
Yeah, I just don't get the difference between Redfall and Starfield. I don't get the difference. Like, I think Starfield's even worse because it's not even at launch. It's not happening. And but yeah, I want to thank everybody coming through. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for all the new VIPs. Be adding you to the board. And thank you again to J Dub. Shout out to J Dub for jumping on and for Sick Humor jumping on. I want to thank everybody for jumping into the Grindhouse. And hit that like button, share it out, Grinders. We're growing strong here. Over 20, I don't know, subscribers are, but we're getting up there on the stuff for the channel. And I want to thank everybody for all their support. Hit that like button, share it out. And stay tuned here. Wait, what is this? Why is this trending? Hold on. Before I go. Oh, X Defiant is launching this summer. Oh, okay. Never mind. But anyway, thank you again, everybody. Hit that like button, share it out. Comment down below. I read all the comments, and I'll talk to you later. And with that, I'm so upset we didn't hear this song during the showcase, but Phil, play your song, man.
Oh no! We suck again!
Oh, and second us too. New games are coming fast. 12 minutes in Hades, and they're all on Game Pass. Some of them are like a Requiem. What to play first?